Hey.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody?
Good evening.
Oh, hello.
All right. Welcome. We are what we considered ourselves to be the Sleepless Knights. So welcome to our first stream ever on Twitch. We're gonna be playing Dungeons and Dragons weekly. Here Wednesday nights at 8:30. We're all pretty excited to get started. So, hello. My name is Evan, and I am going to be your guide through our story as the Dungeon Master. But before we begin playing any D&D, we have some announcements and shout-outs we would like to do for some wonderful people that have contributed to this amazing game that we have that we're going to start playing tonight. So, first is a longtime friend of Gordon, Liam, and I's, Toby. They created and designed our awesome logo that you see on screen, the Sleepless Knights mace. Did a really wonderful job on that. A big shout out to Gordon himself, who did all the stream overlay stuff that you see here. Big shout out to him as well. So very creative. Second is Manuel, who did an amazing job, which you will see in a little bit, of all the character art that you will see. He did it in very such short notice, and I was personally blown away by all of it. I hope you guys are really impressed
You did
as
a
well.
phenomenal job.
Also, Devin Knight, I'm going to give a shout out to. If any of you guys watching are really keen on your Roll20 creator lore, David Knight is a very, very popular graphical design artist. He makes a lot of tokens and enemy tokens for Roll20. Very, very popular, but his are very pristine. So big shout out to him. Lastly, we have Seafoot Games and Monument Studios for creating such beautiful and creative battle maps and music that we will be using here throughout our campaign. All of the info for these incredibly talented artists can be found below, so make sure to check that out. They're all very talented and would be more than welcome for you guys to commission art from them and use their products as well. We're very excited to get started using all their stuff too. So again, thank you to all of you that have contributed and making this game great. So another announcement before we begin is that the Sleepless Knights will be hosting a second weekly show called Nights Off, which is going to be a variety show that's going to feature things like Q&As and that'll be about the game nights with like the cast and crew, hangout sessions, and a whole lot more. So we would love to have you if you want to come hang with us. Not on Wednesday nights. We'll be doing a bunch of different fun stuff, a bunch of different variety stuff too. So, but without further ado, let's get rolling. Okay.
Yeah.
Yay!
Good.
So, we are starting our adventure in the inner parts of Faerun, specifically in the country of Chondath and the barony of Sespich, where the people of these places, within the past 10 to 20 years or so, have begun to rebuild their lives after the calamity that swept through Faerun called the Spell Plague. As the history is written, the Spell Plague was caused by the weave of magic falling apart and unleashing the raw magic that was contained within it and creating a widespread cataclysm across Faerun. The Spell Plague manifested itself as a storm of blue flame that laid waste to the areas of Chondath and Sespich, destroying almost everything in its path, including the grand city of Erebar. Towns and villages were all destroyed. These lands were transformed into an unpredictable and surreal place and dubbed the Plague-Wrought Lands. Eventually, the Spell Plague was calmed, by what means not many know. And these lands were returned to a sense of normalcy, Though much has been rebuilt in the past years, many cities still lie in ruin, and are rumored to still contain remnants of the plague. The people of these lands are haunted still by the memory of the blue flames that destroyed everything that they once held dear. Some have learned to harness the remaining power of the plague. Some even celebrate its existence. But most fear its return. But our story begins under a much smaller lens. In a small town of Elbaldor, once established as a trading post along the old road within the barony of Cespish, this town is now known for its very important and rather wealthy logging operation, as it sits very close to a massive forest named the Chondlewood. The forest itself, rumored to becoming more and more wild as the years have gone by. Today, Elbaldor, its streets cobbled, its people housed and entertained, seems to be growing day by day. And on this very night, its people are celebrating with a festival, which they have named the Festival of the Blue Flame. Give me one moment. So, most of you have arrived here at Elbaldor within the past either day or so, or just now arriving. Not many of you have heard too much about Elbaldor, other than that it was a rather popular logging town. And once you get there, it is actually rather impressive. There's probably around 100 or so standing structures, all built out of some sort of brick with tile ceilings. People are strewn about the streets. It's very busy at this time of night, surprisingly. Two of you, I know, have arrived here already previously and have set up sort of what you would call a food stand, selling all sorts of different types of food in preparation for the Festival of the Blue Flame. Though, to your kind of confusion, not many of the townsfolk here have visited your stand in particular, and whenever residents kind of pass by, they kind of look at you in a weird manner and give you sneers and jeers. You might have the occasional customer, but it has not been very popular compared to the other stalls in the market square here. But those of you that have arrived have realized that the majority of the people that live here are all human. You do not see another race. So for the two of you that we would like to introduce yourselves now, it's kind of a little bit odd, especially for one of you who doesn't come from a very populated place or a town really at all. So Liam and Kate, if you would like to please introduce your characters, and your food stall if you would like.
You can go first, Liam.
Oh, okay. So I will be playing Eggval. He is a 7'3", very happen to be intimidating looking Goliath gentleman. They have bright gray blue eyes, ash gray skin, and jet black hair that is that's in a half up dreads. They have markings on their body that resemble like smoky waves and patterns that lick and flick around their eyes and face, down their neck, and then continuing down under their shirt. He also has them going from his hands up to his arm and under his sleeves. They normally wear common tribal clothing with a short sleeve shirt and a makeshift apron or smock made from hides. Oddly, though, from whenever they happen to show their arms and hands, they are covered in what looks to be scars of burns and various cuts that start to become a bit more sparse as they come up the elbow and up the upper arms. Um, and the stand is more or less just basic, doesn't really have a canopy, whether if it would be night or day. Just sort of looking like just a basic, possibly built on the spot table, with a little sort of like fire behind the table with this big old stew pot. Um, and they have a couple stacks of what look to be wooden, sort of crudely hand carved bowls, knives, forks, and then also a couple of servings of stew with some pieces of what look to be sort of like hardtack bread, kind of sort of sitting on the top on the side of the bowls. And they're probably just kind of arms crossed, still like a little confused, but just sort of just looking around, just sort of checking things out.
Accompanying the Goliath is another giant kin, but different. Um, his traveling companion is a furbolg. She's short, is 6 feet tall for her race. She's got light brown fur. That's very short, with these white freckles that go across her cheeks, and these uh, kind of doe-like floppy ears that has a bear tooth hanging from one of them. She's got white hair that goes a little bit past her shoulders, and a long, thin tail with a white tuft at the end. She's dressed in very natural colors, leather armor, greens, stuff like that. But she's got this very doe-like appearance to her. The big, coffee brown eyes, the darker nose, kind of thing going on. She's currently standing kind of behind Egbo, and she's holding a rather large egg in her arms, and she looks very hesitant to be here. And if there's like a noise, like if like she'll jump and kind of move a little bit out of that direction. And eventually she speaks up to her companion and says, um, do you really think that this was a good idea? You know, us being here with what we are?
Sure.
Mm, they don't seem too welcoming.
I think it's fine.
Okay, okay, yeah, I'll just, say here, if you want to go out and, try and bring people over to the stand, I can watch it. That's not really my, strength, talking.
Just to
Uh,
kind of give you guys a brief look at what your specific surroundings look like, um, including your stall, there is a kind of a scrawnier looking male. He's older. He has a very pointed beard, graying, and a very large, kind of curly, graying mustache. He's bald on top, but he wears sort of like very fancy clothes, a suit jacket, and it's tied up nice and tight. But he seems to be selling glass items, glass trinkets, all sorts of things, which seems to be rather popular. Um, that seems to be the more of the attraction for the young kids. There's also a man and a woman. They look to be a couple, selling sort of things like scrolls and books and tomes, reading material. Is another one. Uh, there is a lady selling ceramics. She seems to be in her mid 40s. Ceramic bowls and dining things, and also beautiful ceramic dolls as well. Um, getting some attention. Um, There's also an older gentleman who just looks like he probably just threw up the stand, seeing everyone else throwing the stand and trying to make some money. But he is currently um, selling boots and all sorts of different cobbled shoes. Funny enough, um, kind of barks at any customers that come up to him. He's a rather loud, portly gentleman. Um, Lastly, kind of set up towards a far darker corner of the center of the market here, um, seems to be a lady. You really haven't seen any of her features. Older with kind of white hair that kind of falls out beneath her dark hood that she has pulled up. Be telling people's fortunes and reading tarot cards to individuals, which seems to be a rather excited attraction for the residents here in Elbador. Um, a lot of them, you hear a lot of oohs and ahs coming from that specific booth itself. And then there's your booth, like I said, is kind of getting turned away from. You're not too sure why. Uh, Obviously, Adlith being a little bit more nervous than Eggball, but nonetheless, uh, you've been kind of you found comfort in your giant Goliath friend that you eventually get some customers, and he seems confident in the food that he has made and the stand that he has set up.
I
Okay,
guess.
good.
And Giant, I'll just say, do you think we're doing something wrong?
No, no. This is my first time leaving the woods. Um, I don't. Um, it's not normal to be around this many people. Um, let alone not, the wood elves or the gnomes or the satyrs. A lot of humans, just not used to it. And
That makes sense. I'm sorry to interrupt. I haven't really. It's actually kind of my first town that I've been in. It is a little weird, but I'm just a little confused why nobody's came by for food. I mean, you think people are hungry, right?
yes, my mom used to tell me that there was that there could be distrust in people that they don't know. You know, like we're different. Uh, we're tall, and I have a tail. Um, it's a little people aren't used to it. y- they're probably just nervous. Um,
I think it's a little weird to be afraid of people with tails or people who are a little tall. But
mm, I used to be scared of like there was these little like gnomes in the woods, and they knew magic, and I don't know magic, so sometimes I'd see them, you know, doing their little tinkering, and it made me nervous until I got used to it. Sometimes it just takes exposure.
I guess, all right. Gnomes, like, are they like our height? Are they about human height? Are they like shorter?
Mm, if we're talking like 5e gnomes, I think they're like a small
Oh
race.
no, this is like Eggball
Oh,
having
oh, okay.
specifically asked you because
Sorry.
Eggball's never met a gnome before.
Uh, they are short. And she points to like her like on her probably be like thigh level.
Oh yeah,
Like
they're
there.
small.
Yeah.
Wow, I don't understand that. Yeah, I'd be afraid like I'd accidentally step on 'em. Gosh. All
Mhm.
right.
It's,
Hmm.
I
At this
help with
point,
it.
a little girl and her mother kind of walk past, and the mom kind of stops and that smells good. And then the little daughter goes, "Mommy, what is she?" The mom's eyes kind of fall on Adlith, and oh, never mind. Come along, honey. And she kind of pulls her away from the stand.
Mm.
The rest of you, those who that have kind of arrived early, or just now arriving, a very popular place within Elwaldor is the inn. There is only one inn here. It is called the Happy Home. So some of you probably have either slept there for a night or have made its acquaintance. Um, the innkeeper is a stout female, human, Her name is Mayra. But she has been rather welcoming, and the people that have kind of frequented this establishment seem to be filling up on all sorts of drinks and food. It is patronized by a number of townsfolk, all seeming also to be human. Um, the inn itself is a two-story, half-timbered building. It has a smooth stone floor. Um, the accommodations that were kind of offered to you, they have several large rooms with beds. They have straw mattresses. There's also some several like wooden cots were offered to you as well. Um, but it's a very popular place, and especially right now during the festival, it is very rowdy as well. Um, but for those of you who arrived, I'm going to start asking you where you might be at this very moment. Um, so we'll start with you, Joel. If you can kind of explain your character, what he might be doing in Elbaldor at the moment.
Currently, he would be sitting at the bar. Not sitting, just kind of sitting at a table with just by himself. He is about 6 foot tall. 6 foot tall. A male, almond-shaped eyes. He's young, around 20, 21 years old, with kind of shoulder-length, dark black hair with dark brown eyes. He is kind of has a typical kind of worn leather armor chest piece, but has a kind of very worn leather duster on top of that with a hood kind of stitched into the back. And he is just kind of sitting at a table, and he has a book out that has various doodles, various sketches on it, but he's kind of just looking at a blank piece of paper and kind of sitting, kind of lounging in front of him, kind of just staring expectantly. Is this kind of this dark gray cat just looking at him? So he's just looking at this paper and kind of looks at the cat and was like, "Oh, you tell me, do I write a letter, just letting Aldous know how I am, or do I just leave it be?"
Meow.
Okay, technically that wasn't a question for you. You know you can hear me. Give me a little something, a little bit of guidance, please.
Meow. And he kind of just lays down on the table in front of you.
Okay.
At
Kind of
this point,
scratches belly.
Castus, a woman kind of approaches your table, and she just slides something in front of you. Father bless you. And she just kind of makes her exit out of the inn.
Father, bless you, whatever. I grab whatever it is and kind of take a look at it.
Okay. One moment. It is a symbol. It is a polished green shield. And on it, you see like almost like a knight. It would be painted on it. In one hand, he has a sword. And then behind him is sort of looks like a smiling male figure. That's it. He almost looks like it would be fatherly or some family figure. But that's it. It's kind of crude, and the painting on it of the man is it's hard to even like recognize what it is.
Do I know anything what this might indicate? Whatever it might be?
You can roll me a religion check.
Oh, I'm so good with religion. Here we go.
First roll of the campaign.
Ooh, with my -1, that is a 13.
You're not sure what this is.
I think as much.
You are not sure.
I'll look around. Think, anyone who might. I start kind of looking around, thinking maybe I should ask someone, but I kind of get a cat again. Like, oh, I told him I was gonna quiet, keep my head down. I'm gonna do. I don't care what you say. That's what I'm gonna do. All right. Kind of just pull my hood up and just kind of sit there and continue to look at my book.
David, I'm
Yeah.
assuming your character, Isaiah, has probably arrived a little bit before the rest of them. Kind of started on his journey probably before the rest. Um, what has he been doing in Elbaldor? And kind of explain your character if you would like to.
So Isaiah is somewhat tall for a man. Older, starting to get some salt in his pepper hair. He keeps his hair and his beard well groomed, beaded, some braids in it. He wears metal armor throughout most of the day. He'll take it off towards the end of the night when he's um, just getting a nightcap. But he always carries around a split leather apron with a bunch of tools on either side, especially a big pair of hammers. But he probably arrived in town looking like almost the D&D equivalent of a dad at Disney, where he's got all of the packs and is not caring one whit about how good he looks. Just everything is there. I've got everything. If we need anything, I've got it. It's right here.
He's got
We'll
the
be
fanny
fine.
pack in the front and the fanny
Fanny
pack
pack.
in the back.
Very much so.
Exactly what I thought.
Pushing the
But
stroller.
yep. But he came into town. The first thing he did was set up at the inn, said hello, introduced himself, and has spent probably a couple of days mostly walking. Spends a lot of time paying attention to the stalls, to the people that go to them. He'll spend nights at the tavern watching people as they come into town for the festival or have a few drinks at the end of the night, and hasn't been talking to many people, but has been paying attention
Yeah,
to the things going around.
Something that you have noticed, Isaiah, the few days that you've been here, you don't see too many new patrons. A lot of it is the normal townsfolk that probably live here or work here. The one gentleman that you do realize that is new is Castus. He has spent some time in the inn, kind of frequenting it. You did see the new stall be set up by the odd Goliath and Furball characters that kind of set up right in the center of the stall, the market square there. Also, to those of you that have arrived, I forgot to explain this, but the streets themselves at night are lit by lanterns, and they're not any ordinary lanterns. And specifically to you, Isaiah, this is probably more intriguing than the others, but it is a blue flame, which is odd because, like I explained, the blue flame is viewed more as an omen than it is like a source of light. But you would probably assume that is because the Festival of the Blue Flame is the Festival of the Blue Flame. They have their lanterns lit by the blue flame. Okay, and to you, it just seems like an intriguing piece of, I don't know, ingenuity or magic or something like that. You're not too sure, but that's something interesting that your character specifically would recognize.
He probably would have gotten into a little bit of trouble trying to take one down off the wall just to look at it and see how it was made before. Oh, no, sorry, I didn't.
Exactly.
My apologies. But he also definitely would have been one of the people to look around and notice the stall and be probably their like one customer for that day.
Yeah. Good. So, next is going to be Sarah. Your character Ren probably arrived either a day or so ago. I would assume, to herself, probably very observant or out of the eyes of everybody else. But I will let you explain what she looks like and what she's been doing in Elbador these past couple days.
So Ren is a fairly short half-elven woman. She's pretty small. She's like 5'4". Looks like a stiff wind could blow her over. She's got dark brown hair. She's got blue eyes. She's kind of pale. She doesn't really look like she's had to do a whole lot of hard work outside. She's got common clothes on, kind of dark traveling pants, a dark green shirt, some leather armor that she's not entirely comfortable in. She kind of fidgets with it a little bit. and she's just kind of got a little bit of a wide-eyed, nervous air about her. She's pretty young looking. She looks pretty young, and I'd say she probably got set up at the inn. Has a private room, um, and I think she's probably kind of wandering out into the tavern to try to get some food, probably.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess she'll go up to the inn. Is it like how busy is the tavern room right now? Is it like
Right now,
overwhelming?
today is going to be overwhelmingly busy. It seems like if anybody had a job today, they're off. They are spending a lot of time in the inn. It's kind of getting into the evening. The festivities are just kind of now picking up. But it is busy enough, and you probably have to push your way to the front of the bar to get the innkeeper's attention if you would want to. But
Well, I don't think she's gonna push her way to the front. I think she'll come out, kind of like take a look around, be like, "Oh, it's a lot of people," and maybe she'll go check out and see what's available on the street.
sure, absolutely.
Uh,
So, specifically, what you see right now is when you exit the inn here, you notice that a stage is kind of being quickly set up by a bunch of people and quickly hammered together. It seems like a makeshift, kind of just a stand, and you assume that somebody's going to be giving a presentation, um, at least by night's end.
oh, is there anybody else kind of paying attention to it?
Of course, there's bystanders watching people getting watching it built. It is sort of in the center of the market area,
Mhm.
so it is surrounded by all of the stalls and such. So,
I'll look for like a family, like somebody with kids, and be like, "Oh, do you know what's that for?"
kind of a dad, his wife, and a little son. The dad kind of turns to you and says, "Oh, the mayor is supposed to be speaking sometime before the end of the night, just celebrating Elbodo's success and the Festival of the Blue Flame."
Oh, it's my first time at the festival. Is that normal?
Well, it's the first time it's happening.
Oh, yeah, of course it is. Sure. I'm gonna go find some food. Thanks.
Yes. And he kind of gives you an odd look and watches you depart. Next, we'll go to Gordon. Gordon, your character probably arrived, within a day or two. Um, looking like sort of another one of those people who doesn't want to be seen in plain sight, staying out of the majority of the crowds. But I will let you explain what your character is doing or has been doing these past days in Elboulder.
Redrick he's a human man for the most part. He has the very distinguishing characteristic that half his face, kind of like the left half of his face split sort of down the middle, is actually that of dragon, sort of red skin, red scales, kind of yellow eye as the fangs on like half his mouth, scars all over his face. And he's wearing pretty much just commoner clothes with like this stitched together hooded vest over it, which currently the hood's up, so all you can really make out of his face be like a yellow glint of the eye and like the bottom of his mouth, which is for the most part human. He probably headed into town, ended up at the inn, passed out, drunk on the table a little bit, that kind of thing. Had to get dragged out. Nothing major, really. But after that, spending the night there, he probably have tried to get in contact with whoever he thought would have a lead on the person he's looking for, if that would be a thing he could do. But if he's only been there for a day, he might just be waking up a little bit hungover at the tavern, I think, or at the inn.
Mm-hmm. And at this point, actually, 3 gentlemen approach you at your table at the inn. Everyone kind of that is in there, so probably Isaiah, Castus, you recognize this. People kind of back away from these gentlemen as they enter. The 2 of them that kind of surround the larger gentleman seem to be kind of your everyday like logging type. They wear their work clothes. They both brandish clubs on the side of their hips. But the one that's kind of leading these two wears all black. He kind of, it seems like his clothes have been tailored, not really resembling the rest of the attire that the majority of the citizens here wear. He has slick black hair, kind of a trimmed black goatee. He carries a large rapier that kind of hangs down off the side of a beautiful belt. His pants, his black pants, are tucked into his well-kept black boots. And he, as Redrick is laying on his table in a drunken stupor, kind of pulls you up by your cloak as you wake up from whatever you may be dreaming. Come with me, boy. And he kind of yanks you up out of your seat.
Whoa, whoa! Can't you see I got a drink here? You're really gonna interrupt the man with the drink? I'm a paying customer. Come on.
One of
now.
the gentlemen that are kind of next to him grabs a drink out of your hand, slams it down on the table. He said, "Follow him."
Still a good amount left in that. All right, here we go. Oh, I like stand up and start following him.
I follow after seeing this.
You can follow, absolutely. You don't go too far, as the gentleman kind of whips a Redrick around onto the side of, just outside of the main door of the inn here, and pushes him up against the wall. So you kind of, Cassius, you kind of stop at the door, right, as this is happening, kind of just are listening.
Listen, if this is about what I said to that lady last night, I didn't mean any of it. I swear. I promise.
Boy, this is a warning. This is all this is. I am the sheriff here at Elbledore. And you're going to listen, and you're going to listen closely. Am I clear? And he kind of slaps you up beside of your dragony scaled face.
Oh no.
Ow. But alright, I'm listening.
Good. You've made quite the ruckus already. Your one night in town. You don't look entirely human either. This is a warning. Keep that hood and that face hood up and that face covered. We were going to even have more problems, and you may find yourself in the river. Do I make myself clear?
Hey, you don't want me scaring other ladies away. I gotcha. Taking all for myself, honestly, but.
You're rather disgusting, actually. Kind of straightens his shirt, pushes you off, and wipes his hands on his pants. Remember my warning.
I gotta step out. I want to try to bump into him and try to steal. Does he have like a badge or anything on his belt that is visible?
Other than his rapier, nothing like a badge or anything like that.
I want to kind of stumble out and bump him like, oh, I'm sorry.
One of his little henchmen kind of, Oi! Get back where you were sitting!
Oi, get back where you're sitting! Oh, it's me. Oh.
He just shoves past you. Come on, lads.
Turns away.
Term.
Yes.
How far away was the stand from where this happened?
It's probably 50 or so feet away.
So Adlith couldn't have heard what was happening.
Yeah, it wasn't too big of a ruckus. He wasn't like screaming at Redrick or anything like that, but it was noticeable.
Okay, she's got a fairly high passive. That's why I was curious.
Your
So
character would definitely have heard it.
So Eggball, you'd notice the floppy ears are twitching and the tail is kind of flicking back and forth really quick, and she says,
Hey, you see those ones over there?
and she's like pointing to, like, she points as subtly as she can towards like the sheriff and stuff.
Yeah, why? What? Did something happen?
They don't seem too welcoming to what we were talking about earlier, but the whole we're not human, maybe we shouldn't be here. It kind of just reaffirmed what I was worried about. Yeah, just wanted to give you a heads up. I'm gonna sit back here, and she kind of like goes and like takes a seat beside the pot with the egg on her lap, and just is kind of like not being a face at the booth now.
I mean, I'll probably just look back. sure it's not going to be a problem. I mean, we're not really planning on staying the night in an inn, right?
No, 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 no,
Yeah,
no, no, no,
no,
no.
yeah, it's okay. Yeah, no, I wasn't. I wouldn't really feel comfortable with that either. I don't think they'd have really big enough bed for me, so I feel more comfortable kind of out under the sky, anyways.
Yeah,
So we'll be all right. No worry. That's cool.
okay, okay. I just wanted you to know. Yeah, yeah.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. And she just sits patting the egg nervously.
Just give a thumbs up and go back to stirring my stew.
And I would go up to this individual, kind of dust him off, like, are you okay, sir?
Oh, me, I'm fine. You look like you had a pretty bad night yourself, though. You notice, like, as soon as they walk away, the drunken stupor just, like, disappears.
Yeah. So, advice to you: avoid maybe the best thing you can do. Keep your hood up, like you said, because I'm pretty sure he would stab you at first chance he gets.
Oh, yeah? Friend of yours?
No, 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 no. I try to avoid law enforcement as much as possible.
I'd say I do the same, but not always easy, you know, the whole gesture to the
That-
face.
Yeah, that is kind of. I've never actually seen something like that before. Is that a sensitive subject, or?
Yeah, neither have I. Nah, it's just what it is. I don't know, born like that, I guess.
Well, buy you a drink?
I mean, if you're offering, who's gonna turn down a drink, am I right?
Come on, I think we've had enough of we had enough of that. Let's go drink off the night. How does that sound?
Sounds great to me.
And
Sure, I'm
Mac,
back in
we're gonna cut to your character, who is probably just now arriving into town. And at this point, probably got off to an odd start, as you see a man being dragged out of an inn with a face unlike those you've seen before. Though you are not too, I guess you're kind of familiar with looking a little bit odd. But this face is something that uh, you've been looking for. But I will let you explain your character um, and how he reacts to the situation that he may have just saw.
Yeah, I'm playing Calder Vidar. He's 6'2", muscular build, broad shoulders. Very much has the look of at least the shape of a human, built like a brick shit house. Wearing a dark cloak currently, but as it's taken occasionally in the wind, you'll see glints of chainmail underneath, and has a great sword strapped across his back, the hilt over one shoulder. And though he has the shape of a human, the coloring is all wrong. He has dark gray skin, like a drow. His eyes are white, slightly luminescent. His hair is a kind of a deep red. So I see that exchange. Do I see them walk back into the inn then?
Yeah, you would watch as Redrick and Cassis both kind of walk back into the inn together.
Okay, I'm gonna quickly take a scan around town since I've kind of just got here. I want to see if I see the other thing anywhere as well.
Give me a perception check.
Oh, I'm super great at those. Shit, natural 20. I guess I am.
Natural 20 for a total of what?
Total of 20.
Total
First
of
of the
20.
campaign.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Very nice.
Plus
Big
0.
bonus.
Yeah, Mac, Caldor, I guess. Is it pronounced Caldor or Calder? How would you say that?
Calder.
Calder. In the distance, kind of far off, you do notice standing above, and kind of ominously above the rest of the buildings here, a large steeple, which you could imagine is probably what you're looking for. And it kind of sits just behind the stage that is being built. You can tell it's a little bit of a distance outside of town, not too far, but it kind of sits in a silhouetted background at this moment. But that
Okay.
is the
I see the symbol at the top though.
You do
the-
not, but
I do
you would
not,
assume just because of the odd shape of this building, it's probably the monastery that you're looking for.
Okay, I will kind of mental bookmark that for later, and then, well, I'm getting off to a good start, and I'll head into the inn.
Okay, and inside, like I have explained before, you will see all sorts of patrons, including the two that you just kind of saw get into a scuffle. Go ahead.
Oh, just I have you guys found a table or?
I imagine we're
Yeah.
both at a table. We each have like a drink, just kind of conversing.
Yeah. A little great
Okay.
cat sitting on the table, just kind of on his back, exposing its belly for rubs.
Fantastic. I'm gonna go to the bar. I'm a pretty big guy, so I'm gonna kind of try to move my way up to the front and get the barkeep's attention if I can.
She seems busy with another patron at the moment, but she sees your hand raised. I'll be with you in a minute.
Take your time.
And eventually she finishes up and rushes over to you. Yes, what can I get? Oh. What can I get you? She's kind of taken
Three.
aback by your presence.
Yeah, just kind of nod like that's about right. Yeah, 3 shots of the strongest thing you got.
Well, I have, how about a mug of bitter?
Is that what you don't got any liquor?
Just bitter.
Sure, 3 of that then.
3. Well, oddly large, but I warn you, the bitter's strong. And she kind of like gets behind the counter and gets 3 tankards and sets them out and fills them with what she calls bitter. It seems like it is a thick, dark ale, to your understanding. Well, that'll be 15 copper pieces.
Yeah, sure. I'll reach into a little belt at my side. I'll put 20 copper on the bar.
Ah, very generous. Find a seat anywhere.
Thank you kindly. I'll take the 3 bitters, and I will go over to where Castus and Redrick are. So just approaching the table, I'm gonna put one. Is there an empty seat at the table?
Yeah, I'd imagine.
Okay,
I
so
don't
I'll
think
s-
anyone's sitting with us now that I'm here. At least.
No.
I'm just gonna walk right up. I'm gonna put one at the empty spot. I'll put one in front of each of you, and sit down at the empty spot myself.
Well,
So
hello,
you get a
new
little bit of
best
a run-in out
friend.
there.
Hello? What's this?
Just call that a hello where I'm from.
Oh, well,
Thought you might
take
enjoy
it
another
and-
drink.
just give a little sniff. No. Drink.
I'm just diving right in. What do we have the pleasure?
Yeah, I saw you had a bit of a run-in out there outside.
That was nothing. Just a little talking to.
Talking to.
Bit of a
Apparently they don't
conversation.
like this side of his face, I think is the problem.
Oh yeah, I mean they told me to keep the hood on, but you get a sneak peek. Just pull it back a little bit and just like reveal the left side.
As you do that, Calder takes like a nice, like no shame at all, just a hard look at your face.
I think
So
he's
you're-
sweet on you.
Saying the same thing.
Well,
Listen, wouldn't be the
everybody
first time.
has their tastes. You're used to that kind of treatment then, I imagine.
Like I said, won't be the first time.
Well,
So, what brings you to wherever this town is?
feelings, I guess. You ever go somewhere not really knowing what you're looking for, but knowing you're looking for something?
No.
No, I know going somewhere and not
It's
knowing
just
what
this
I'm
chorus
doing.
of no.
Hear everyone stop talking in the end, turn
Yeah.
towards you.
Listen, what the hell is he talking about? Yeah, I tend to
You'll-
know why I'm going somewhere.
That's fair, I guess. Been a
Yeah,
bit.
I'm just here, getting away from where I got to get away from, go to wherever is in my direction.
My situation's not much different. Leaving somewhere I'd rather not be and trying to find out where I should be. I think it might be here, at least to start. There's not too many people around here that are different.
Oh, I've noticed that. I've been here about a day or so, and mostly just people look like me.
Hey, don't get a lot of regulars around these parts.
Yeah, well.
I saw a couple weirdos at the stand earlier. I mean, not weirdos. Different.
I noticed them earlier. I was tempted to go out and check out some of that food, but I don't care for crowds too much these days.
Well, if you need me to walk you through the crowd, I'll take your hand, but
No, I might take you up on that offer, and I take another drink.
At this point, those of you that are sitting in the inn, and I guess are outside as well, here, the town bell begin to ring. And everyone that's kind of been sitting, that's sitting next to you in the inn, or eating, they quickly finish eating and gather their belongings and begin to head outside the inn. You hear whispers and talks of saying, "The mayor's speech, it's happening now. Come on, everybody!" And then people begin to file out of the inn. While you're kind of deciding whether or not you should follow, the two of you that are outside, you see a crowd beginning to form in front of the stage that I had explained earlier. And at this point, it is getting pretty large. Once again, not taking very much notice to your stand, but nonetheless, do the rest of you follow that were inside of the inn?
Alright, let's go. Finish my drink real quick. Get me
Found it. Take
Only
that
takes
piece of
an extra
paper.
minute just to get all of the fanny packs sorted, but then Isaiah will follow.
Good.
Anlith will stand so that she can kind of see what the hubbub's about.
Mhm.
So she's like close to Eggful. Like he can. She's standing beside him. He can feel her shaking right now as like the amount of people like in the area begin to like grow and by a sizable amount.
I'll just kind of say quietly, I guess for clarification, whenever I speak normally, that's just going to be in giant, just for ease.
Yeah.
Um, I was just planning on just standing here and watching what happens. If you're all right with that,
Yeah. I don't want to go any closer than we need to. This
we'll
is close
just
enough.
we'll just stay behind the stand until we get tired, and we'll head off somewhere to sleep later.
Okay. Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Okay.
I'll take a piece of hardtack that's been sitting on one of the bowls that's now of course gone cold, and just kind of like pick it up and hand it to you in case you want a nervous eat.
She'll take it and she's holding like the egg in like a football carry under one arm. It's big. And then like has her free handed she'll eat.
Very cool.
Wholesome.
So, as the crowd begins to form, onto the stage, it walks up a woman. She seems to be rather small in frame, but very proud, kind of standing. Her chin sticks very high up in the air. She has short, blonde, cropped hair. She seems to be probably in her late 20s, early 30s, rather young. She is dressed, at least for a mayor of a town, she is dressed in a nice kind of what you would consider in a modern day setting like a business suit. She has a nice tailored suit jacket that sits tightly upon her and a nice collared white shirt that kind of flows out at the collar. Her pants are all black, and she wears some large, what looks like adventuring boots that kind of go up to her knee. She carries a large dagger on the side of her belt. Flanking the stage is the sheriff, as some of you know him, and his two cronies as well. But she walks up on the stage, and everyone kind of hushes down a little bit. The town kind of gets silent and ready for whatever she has to say. She kind of addresses the crowd and kind of looks at all of you over, and a hush kind of falls. People of Elbodor, thank you for coming to the Festival of the Blue Flame! And everyone kind of, yeah! The townspeople roar in excitement. All sorts of people. She raises her hand. As many of you know, Elbodor has been going through a lot of struggle recently. But I am excited to be taking the position of mayor after my father's passing. I would just love to say thank you to all of you for your hard work and your generosity and making me feel accepted here as a part of your family, as you did my father and his father before him. Thank you. For those that I do not recognize, and she kind of looks across the crowd, and almost as if her eyes fall on every single one of you for a moment, her gaze pauses and continues on. I am Mayor Maryvale Justins of the Justins family. I have recently taken over as mayor here, as the majority of you all know. Unfortunately, the past years have been hard for us. The logging operation has been almost at an entire halt because of that wretched forest and the wildness that comes out of it. But on my father's deathbed, I promised him that I would bring this place to its glory once again. My goal is to tame that forest and to make this place as rich as possible and as prosperous as possible for all of you. And roars once again. I would like to say thanks to a few individuals in particular. First, our dear sheriff, Pav Belmont. And you hear claps and roars for Pav. I will type that in the chat for you all. He kind of gives a noble nod and bow. Thank you, my lady. Looks back up at her. I would also like to give thanks to Pollock, other fine physician, has recently come down from Erebar. You see, kind of standing in the back of the crowd is a rather rotund gentleman, balding at the top of his head. He wears large spectacles, clean shaven, but sort of like a Ben Franklin looking as character, and he kind of just waves to everybody. We know we have had a lot of injuries and sickness spread through Elbodor in our recent times, and we are very appreciative of his service. And a large thank you to Fane, Ironfoot, for taking over duties as the head management to get the logging operation back together. Another sort of large gentleman with long black hair, very muscular, almost as tall as Eggval's character, kind of puts up a massive hand and waves to the crowd. But nonetheless, that is all I really have to say to you all. This isn't a time for me, it is a time for you. Excitement, enjoy yourselves, visit the stands, get drunk, eat food, and just enjoy this night off. And tomorrow, we begin a new day. And at this time, she kind of raises her hands, and it seems that next to you, the blue lanterns that are kind of lining the streets kind of raise in activity at the moment. the flames get brighter and almost as if they're getting larger and larger as she raises her hands. And as she does, behind her, few things you guys can hear kind of go up into the sky behind her. And pow, 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 fireworks erupt behind her as all the people of Elbador kind of begin to cheer in excitement and roar. And even like you look like Adleth, you kind of cover your ears because you are not
Yeah.
used to something like this.
That's super loud, and she looks terrified. And she says to Edval, she says, if they go into the forest, they're gonna die. So many people die in that forest if they don't know it.
Should we warn them? It seems like they know something.
Well, I don't want to, cause if they, I mean, it's I'm torn. You see, I don't want them to go into the forest because they'll die, but I also don't want them to touch the forest. It should be allowed to do what it wants to. You know, it. I don't know anything about. I mean, I know a little bit about money, but not really. I don't see what the big point is.
During this conversation, and just as the mayor is kind of stepping off of the stage, something happened. Around you, the flames begin to flicker, and almost as if they're losing their power in a way. One I wanted. This one's the one. The power of the flames actually shimmer, and then they go out entirely, and people begin to murmur in worried whispers, and excitement begins to kind of come over the crowd. And the mayor kind of steps back on the stage and is kind of looking over the crowd. As some of you, if you're at the back of the crowd or in the center, begins to part, kind of down the middle.
I don't think this is part of the speech.
And as the crowd is parting, the lanterns begin to light up in what you guys would consider a normal looking fire. No longer is it a blue, but it is blazing orange and red and white. The lanterns are no longer blue. The crowd is parting for a few individuals, about 6 of them, all hooded in robes, white robes, kind of tattered and dirty, almost to the point that the white has turned into a gray. Along their belt, they wear a sash that is made of red rope, kind of hangs far down into the near their feet, and they all wear a necklace that has a long chain that kind of comes down into a symbol of 2 hands held together by a red ribbon. The one that kind of leads them through the crowd can't really see past their faces. It's only a kind of hooded shroud. But those that are in the back, the very back, is actually kind of lightly whipping the one that's in front of him with a cat of 9 tails. This gentleman does not have a robe on. He actually is shirtless. Those, as they pass, notice that he is not getting whipped to the point of causing any skin to break or any blood, but it almost seems ritualistic in a way. He has his hands bound in red ribbon, just like theirs. His head is down, his long brown hair is kind of folded over his face, and they are just kind of ushering him through the crowd.
I elbow Redrick and say, "That's quite some showmanship."
Seems like a lot, being honest.
You hear all of them kind of murmuring something underneath their breath. Like kind of as they get closer and closer to each of one of you, it seems to be some sort of a chant. You're not too sure what it was.
You all ever seen that symbol before? The one they're wearing around their necks.
Have we?
Oh, have I? Yeah. It's a good question.
You guys could probably, you two know. Absolutely not.
Kurt calls it.
Calder,
Nope, never
you
seen it.
can. Yeah, for real. Even without a roll, I don't think so. Calder, you can roll me a religion or history check, whichever.
Oh, good. Very, very good at both those. Shit, 17.
Okay.
On
With
all
a
these plus zeros,
17.
I'm rolling high.
You would recognize this. Probably from just your travels and the city that you had come from. You would probably have heard of this, but this is the symbol of Ilmater.
Okay.
He is a deity that is worshipped across Faerun. His symbol is indeed two hands crossing with red ribbons that kind of hang down at the wrists.
Okay. So I've seen this before, but
Mhm.
it's now like just clicking that. Okay, this is Ilmater.
Yep.
Do I know anything about him or his religious sects or anything?
Probably some. You know that Ilmater is mainly the god of like martyrdom, perseverance. Sometimes some people worship him as the god of suffering. But also some people worship him as the god of the suppressed, or the suffered and the oppressed and the persecuted. They pray to him for support and relief. Kind of the god of forgiveness and like burdens as well. So
Now, if this is a god that's supposed to give people relief from suffering, why the fuck are they making themselves suffer?
around you, you hear whispers of sorcery, sorcerers, magic. Kind of the kids are cowering behind their parents' legs. And eventually, these clerics of Ilmater pass through the crowd, begin to head towards the other end of town.
I don't know what they're doing, but I think we should keep an eye on them if they come back.
Yeah, they don't seem right to me.
So they just walk right out of town? They're just gone?
Yep. The mayor eventually comes back on stage as they pass. Not to worry, everybody. Do not let the tricks and sorcery of the clerics of Ilmater ruin our night. Let's celebrate to the success of Elbodor. And once again, some fireworks explode again in blue, which kind of takes the worry away from the majority of the crowd. There's still some wariness within them as they kind of all scatter, and she quickly now, right next to her, the sheriff, depart and head into a large building behind the stage there.
I'll, I guess, look over toward Adleth. Do you know if that's normal?
No.
That is so odd. Why would they? I mean, it seems ritualistic, but also. Why?
Do hum- do humans not just do that?
I don't know.
Neither do I.
I don't do. I mean, my tribe doesn't do that. That just seems weird, wrong.
Yeah. I mean, my tribe never did it either.
Yeah, we probably should be. We're not staying in town tonight. Maybe not a good idea.
No.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe? I mean, you're better at talking than I am. Maybe you could ask someone. Maybe we should be like, you know, worried about them coming back. I don't. They said some stuff about magic. You know.
I mean, I don't really see too much of a problem with magic, but I mean, sure, if someone else happens to stop by for some stew, I wouldn't mind.
Okay.
Could help.
Ren has been kind of slowly making her way towards the stalls, just like kind of following her nose. She kind of quietly watches this scene with wide eyes, and she's like, to herself, she's like, that was bizarre. And then she just kind of turns around and like stares at your stomach, and then is like, oh, hi. How
I guess
are
I'll
you?
kind of surprised, just like look down, like, "Hi, egg," and he'll outstretch this big old meaty mitt.
Just kind of very hesitantly gives like a teeny tiny hand towards you, probably like wraps around two of your fingers, like, that's large. Nice to
I'll
meet you.
pull away.
Um,
Oh, and what is it? I'll go to pick up one of like the bowls that've been sitting there and just kind of like pull my hands away and immediately grab one of the empty bowls and kind of like turn around and sort of slosh a bit of my stew from my pot into the bowl, and then I'll grab like a spoon, and then what is it? One of the I have like sort of like a little kind of like not like wooden platter, but like more of like just like a regular wood plank on like the ground sitting next to like the fire so that like they stay warm, and just kind of like crouch over and pick one of them up and put it on top and stew.
it smells wonderful. I'm really hungry. How much?
I kind of like look to Adlith.
Adlith is staring at Ren, just
And
like wide eyes.
Rin now
follow that
notices
bar.
you and just mirrors the same look, like, oh, hello. Hi.
Two.
What? Two copper?
Two.
2 copper. Yeah?
Two.
Okay, 2 copper. And she'll hand over 2 copper and kind of like hesitantly take the bowl and just kind of like look at you to make sure you're not going to smash her.
Enjoy. Good.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And she'll start eating and just,
Um,
good.
Hi. It's in a language you don't understand. At least unless you
Okay.
know Giant, I don't know.
No, I'll be like, no. And then I'll switch to Elvin, like, Elvin, maybe this?
Yeah. Hi.
Oh, hi. Fantastic. It's nice to meet you. I don't,
Hi.
hi. What's your name?
I'm Adlith. You?
Adlin. Oh, I'm Ren. It's nice to meet you.
Ren.
You're very, tall.
I'm actually from my tribe. I'm the shortest.
Oh, that's scary. Wow. That's, wow.
Sorry. I'm still working on my common. But Egg knows it better. So, here, I'll try.
And she, you see like the eyebrows knit together in confusion, and she just says,
This is Eggval. Egg.
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 This is also
Egg.
Egg.
and she holds up an egg.
Oh. Yeah, that's quite a large egg. What kind of egg is that? Is it a friend?
Dog.
A dog egg?
I'll kind of say in giant. Are you sure it's a dog? I thought birds came from eggs.
You see her eyes like dart to Eggville as
Hold
they're
on, hold
speaking
on.
this like language.
Hold on. Bird? I'm kind of like looking at you questioningly.
Bird, yeah, bird
Uh,
egg.
Bird.
Typically, birds lay eggs. Yeah, that's a very large bird egg for very large people. Wow. I've never met anybody quite like you guys before.
Your elf?
Partially, yeah. My mother was. I'm a half elf, so part human, part elf. Yeah.
I know some elves. At least I did.
Yeah? Oh. Yeah. Well, that's sad. Was that? I've never seen anything like that before. Do you guys know what that was?
No.
Okay, me neither. It's a little weird, right?
Ever since I left the woods, there's been a lot of stuff that's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, life's weird, huh?
You
But-
know whipping guys.
Oh,
I'm saying this in common because I can't understand you. Are you pointing to where they went?
yeah, she kind of starts and she looks back up at you and she's like, "Oh, in common. I don't know the whipping guys. Actually, I was just asking Ablith if you guys knew what that was about because it was kind of weird to me.
Oh, no. Weird.
Weird.
Frederick. You roll me a perception check.
Me.
Yes,
The
as
Frederick,
the rest of as this is happening, the rest of you are either filing to different positions in the market or following the crowd back to the inn. I want you to give me a perception check.
Gotcha. That would be a 9 plus 3, so 12.
12. I guess at this very same moment, both of you recognize something very odd happening. This very moment. Eggval is who I meant to say. You notice something. Eggval, your bowls are beginning to shake. Sort of like this on your stall. You specifically would know this. Frederick, you feel sort of a vibration underneath your feet, almost as if an earthquake is going to happen, which is very odd. You kind of stop, you kind of look around. No one else seems to notice it. Cassis, you might stop next to Redrick, probably following him.
Is everything all right?
Hey, you guys feel that? I'm like
And
looking
as you
around.
say that, from underneath a gentleman's foot, as you're walking, you see up through the ground an odd-looking hand kind of grab the man by his ankle. Ah! And whoosh, he gets pulled into the hole. And slowly,
Oh shit!
he's screaming as one leg begins to get pulled through.
Is
And
he
all around
nearby?
you, he is sort of nearby, but at the same time, all around you, out of these holes, creatures begin to appear all around the town. These creatures, looking almost devilish in appearance, having wings and they're flying, begin to cause chaos throughout the town. Screams of horror throughout the town begin happening everywhere. You see these creatures almost too fast to your eye, through a window, carrying somebody away. Two of them. Chaos is now erupting.
What the fuck?
I'm going to bring you guys to a battle map.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I was gonna say, as soon as he sees that Calder just goes, fuck, draws his greatsword.
So, you guys, if you can see that, can place yourself on anywhere of the map where you think you would be.
Where would the stand be?
Let's
You
this
can pick
green
one.
one. I like the green one.
Yeah, that works. I'm cool with that.
I am seeing a black screen.
Sorry, one moment.
So I guess can we sit in here?
Uh,
Nah.
I have two
Yeah, I
tokens
guess-
for you on
yeah.
the board for some reason.
Oh,
Imagine the
Sorry.
two of us would have been
Oh,
together.
because your vision's off.
Yeah.
Sorry, Gordon.
Perfect.
You see now?
Yeah, I can see. Oh, you did end up going with vision.
Did.
I guess I'm with these two.
Where would the stage have been? Or is this far enough separated from that?
It is sort of off to the side. The stage would be farther east in your
Oh.
current position.
Well, he
And-
noticed the Inhuman, so Isaiah would have been walking towards them to see if they knew. Do the same thing Red did, essentially.
Ooh.
These little flying creatures appear, and they are causing chaos, but a few seem to have taken to you guys. Position them a little bit. These are imps.
Oh boy.
So, we are going to roll initiative, everybody.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Here
are.
we go.
Here we go. Here we go.
Who
Oh
we?
my
All
God.
right,
Great.
that's 20, that's 20.
I did get
That's
that.
my-
20.
I read the
A
dice
spiky
is very
die.
average so far.
30, 20.
Ah.
Nice.
It's alright, we're on the same
Oh,
count,
that's-
even though mine was
Yeah.
A little rough for me.
Oh no. It's
Oh,
worse.
do you want
I have a
it
negative one.
rolled in roll 20 or
No, that's fine.
physically,
We
now that I'm-
will
Okay.
go with the normal. The good old pen and paper, everybody.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just curious, are you gonna add us to the roll 20 turn order then, or are we just gonna not use that? Because I don't know whether I want to hide it on screen or not for the stream.
We'll just keep it off. How about that?
Oh, Sarah is in Dungeon Master spot because you guys switched your cameras. Your names.
So Sarah,
your
who's
sword.
scanning
I
now?
got it.
I don't want that
Hold-
responsibility.
Hold on, everyone. Yeah, Sarah, it's your game now. Term, you're now Adler.
I didn't prepare.
I am now
You're
red. So,
Everyone,
can I
hold
have
on.
everyone 25 to 20? Anybody?
20.
20 for who was that?
Sarah. Ren.
Ren.
Yeah.
You,
You
because you are red now.
20 to 15.
19. The highest I
Guys.
can roll.
Anybody else? 20 to 19?
20 to 19.
Brutal.
No.
Or 15,
20.
the
15.
worst. All right, 15 to 10.
I
14.
got 12.
14 as well.
Isaiah, you were 14.
Correct.
All right, you guys should be in the right positions now. If the stream is yelling at me for that, let me know if it's wrong.
Looks good.
Perfect.
Redrick, you said you were a 10.
12.
12. Okay.
I matched with Isaiah at 14.
Okay, 10 to 5?
Got a fat 6.
5.
Yeah, buddy.
Egg
Six.
is 5, and I think that is everybody.
Where has Calder gone on the map?
He's dead.
I think he's under Cassis.
That was fast.
Are we on the same spot? What happened?
Yeah,
They are.
there you go.
Yeah,
Oh,
alright.
dear lord.
Give me one moment.
Great killing music.
I love to kill my players, session 1. So these little beasts are red in color. They have these little horns and large spiky ears. They kind of have a tail that resembles a scorpion as well. Their wings are long and jagged, but they are very small in comparison to all of you. But they look at you with evil eyes and long claws. And they are ready to kill you. So the first to act is Ren.
Okay.
Go
She
Ren.
sees this guy get this guy get pulled by something from the fucking ground. She's like, "What the okay?" And she kind of like hops up onto the stand, just kind of knocking soup bowls over. And she's like, "Oh, okay." And she brings out her short bow, and she's just gonna look around and kind of shoot at the one closest to her.
Okay.
All right. Oh, that is gonna be a miss for sure. Let me see. That is a 10.
A 10. You take out your bow and but the little imp even kind of gives you a little laugh as it dodges your arrow.
She's just like, okay, sorry, don't take it personal. And that's my turn.
Is that it?
That's my turn, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, boy. Strong effort. Strong
Calder.
effort. Calder will heft his great sword, kind of take a look around at all these imps. No. And I'm gonna fucking run over to this guy, right meow, and take a swipe.
Okay, go ahead.
That is a 16 to hit.
A 16 will hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Hell yeah.
And kind of explain what you are using as a weapon, and how you use it.
Big ol' great sword. I got both hands on that bad boy. Oh God. Rolled an 11 plus 4 for 15 damage.
15.
Yeah. So
You swipe down to this imp, kind of spinning, causing it to spin and fall, and it hits the ground in a skid, but it gets back up.
oh fuck. All right. Very good. That's me. I'll stay put, just ready to try to block whatever he does next.
Cool. All right, Isaiah, what is your dexterity?
10.
Okay. Not you. Adlith, what is your dexterity?
Not you.
16.
16?
Yeah.
All right, you will be next.
Okay. She's gonna say, oh, Egg, stay here! And we'll like reach over and put Egg behind the booth. And as she's behind the booth, she pulls out, a bow herself, but as opposed to Ren's, hers is a long bow, so it's a big bow, and it's, Ren would actually probably recognize it. It's got like elven carvings up, like the handle part and stuff like that. She's gonna see this one up here, just like north of her, and she'll
Mhm.
pull back her bow and 16 plus 5 for 21.
That'll hit.
Get it.
Not so good on damage. 4 plus 3, so then
7.
yeah, it just shoots an arrow.
Go ahead.
Just a lot of Adlis stuff looks handmade. The arrows look like they've been feathered herself, all that stuff. And then she's gonna say, okay, I'm just gonna, and she's gonna use her movement to like go over into the booth and like kind of crouch down and behind it.
Very cool. The imp, as it gets hit by the arrow, kind of flutters back up, snaps the arrow and throws it to the ground. Yells at you as you're dashing behind the booth there.
He's
Next are the imps. This one coming right towards you, Isaiah.
That's fair. I was, minding my business. It's perfectly reasonable.
Yeah.
Okay, this one is going to come up to you, Castus.
Hey.
This one's going to rush in between you, Egg, and Adlith. How much movement do these guys have? .40 feet. So he will be able to get to you. Okay, so first, Redrick, we'll start with you. This little imp flies up to you. As he's kind of gonna do a little drive-by on you, his stinger reaches out. That is going to be a 17 to hit.
Oh, that hits. Believe it or not.
You will take 4 points of piercing damage,
Okay.
and I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Oh, dear.
Fine.
Oh, I just clicked in a roll 20.
Fine.
Whoops.
That's a
Hey.
classic.
It's an instinct. That's a 15 rolled on the dice.
Yeah.
And you feel as the stinger hits you, kind of your muscles begin to tighten. You get this really deep sickness into your stomach. But you shake it off. Next, we'll go to Castus. As you're not really expecting this flying up behind you, it's gonna strike out with his stinger. A 9.
Not hit.
not even looking, you feel the stinger whiz past your head as you turn around and prepare yourself.
At
One of the
boy
same-
Castus.
Expedal Calder. This thing just rushes right at you. Looks like his grubby little claws are gonna grip onto you, and as they do, the stinger's trying to sting at you.
I'd be pissed if I took 15 damage too.
That's gonna be a 20 to hit.
Oh dear God, yeah. Yeah.
Ooh.
3
Nasty little
points of
buggers.
piercing damage.
Okay.
And I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh fuck me.
This.
Oh. That's a 1, good sir.
Ooh.
Ooh, you are now considered poisoned.
Very good. 3 damage. Poisoned.
Do you know what poisoning does?
Yes, sir. Disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Good times.
Also, for you especially,
Mhm.
hitting this thing with all of your might and doing as much damage as you did should have killed this thing.
Oh.
You've killed things much larger than an imp before in your time. And with that much force, it should have killed even the largest bear or the biggest owl bear that you've ever seen.
Okay. Even on
right.
a meta level, I was like, oh shit, he's still alive.
Yep. he is still alive.
Okay.
Next,
I'm sorry, a real
Good.
quick aside. What type of damage did he do?
he did piercing damage.
Piercing? Okay.
Yep. Mhm,
Cool.
mhm.
All good.
Next, we're gonna go to Adleth. As you're kind of cowering, this is gonna give you kind of partial cover as this little small being is trying to get in between the stand and yourself.
Just saying, please leave me alone. Please leave me alone.
Still an 18 to hit.
Oh yeah, her AC's just shit.
That is going to be 3 points of piercing damage, and I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Natural 20.
Ooh,
So 23.
I'll die.
easy enough. You feel this thing kind of bite into you, and you don't know if it's the adrenaline of the new place, or just the combat, or just your protector egg next to you. You shake whatever is that imp was trying to inject into you. Next, we're gonna go to Egg himself.
It's 2 eggs.
This little beast. 2 eggs. This little
I
beast
noticed that.
is going to charge right at you, fearless in the eyes of a giant Goliath. That is going to be a 12 to hit, my friend.
That actually misses.
Ooh! As you kind of just swat him away with your hand, just the power of the wind causes this thing to like flap back. Ah! As he goes to rush back in. Next will be against you, Isaiah. A 5 to hit.
That does miss.
Do you do that like a fat dad tumble roll or something to get out of the way?
Classic.
Bad instincts. He goes to poke me with the stinger, and I just grab it in the air and just shove him back.
Oh, that's great.
Same instincts that save a kid from falling off the edge of a seat.
Yeah.
There you go. I like it. It is now your turn, Isaiah. That's the end of the imps.
I'm gonna look at this little thing that just tried to stab me and be like, that was a very bad idea. And he's gonna pull out 2 hammers from his sides and just try and smack them together with this thing's head in the center.
Yeah.
Well, attack
Get
for me.
it.
First one,
20, that 20.
15 plus 5 is 20.
That's gonna hit.
Fuck him up.
Not for much, but
Something.
1 and 3 is 4 damage.
Okay.
And then with offhand, oh, that's only an 8. So only one of them connects.
That'll miss. As the first one hits, you kind of bat him out of the air and he goes into a twirl.
Yeah, total of 8.
And he kind of, as you go to swing your second one, he's too far out of range and he kind of rights himself, ready to come back at you. Is that everything?
Yes.
Okay. Frederick, you are now up, my friend.
So I imagine the Sims kind of got its stinger like stabbed into my left arm, and I just look down and I'm like, oh, that was a mistake. And you see as his arm kind of starts to like heat up and like simmer a bit, and the sleeve itself actually like burns off and reveals that his whole arm is that whole like red scaly dragony thing. And you see a bit of smoke come out from his mouth as and he's gonna enter a rage as a
Uh-oh.
bonus
Ooh.
action.
Yes.
Here we go.
Nice.
And then he'll kind of just take that same claw and hand and kind of like wrap his arm around the tail and pull it in just and like drag it towards him. So I will make an attack with my claw. Oof. That is a 6 + 5, 11 to hit.
That will miss.
Okay.
As you kind of grab him, he just kind of pokes you with his stinger and makes you drop him. Ugh! And the rest of you, as Redrick is doing this, see the sleeve of his arm completely burn off, revealing this completely scaled red arm. And at the end of it is a massive claw that kind of turns into what you would assume is a dragon claw. Anything else?
Hell yeah.
That'll be it.
Okay, Castus, you're next.
Okay, I pull out in my main hand. You pull a nice iron kind of but brass-plated pistol, revolver, and then his other hand a dagger. So he's going to point at the one that the Calder has been attacking. And points the pistol and says, "A touch," and fires. That is a 19 plus. That is a 24 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Yeah.
More loud noises.
That is 8 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Hell
He
yeah.
pointed this thing and let off a shot right into it.
God.
Picks right back up where it was.
What the
All
fuck?
right, so, bonus action, offhand, I swing my dagger at the one next to me.
Oh, sorry. Which one were you shooting?
One by this one here.
Oh, apologies. I was doing the wrong one. So that one you actually fire into, and you fire, and it hits it, and then Kaldor and both of you kind of recognize as this thing dies, it kind of turns into blue flame, and the only thing that's left is ash as it hits the ground.
Hey. All right.
Thank you.
Next, you're welcome. As I spin and attack with my dagger, that is 22 to hit.
That will hit.
Only a piddling 1d4. 1 point of piercing damage.
Okay. So you kind of slice at this thing, you cut a piece of its wing off. It's kind of swooping back in towards you. Anything else?
Nope, that's the end of my turn.
Okay, Eggval, you are up.
I'm going to quickly reach behind the stand and pick up and bring out a long sword. And I'm going to go out for a two-wielded swing toward the imp in front of me.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I thought that was math. That's a 12 to hit.
That just misses, my friend. As you
Alright,
take
I'll
out this big great sword, it's kind of sending this thing spiraling in the wind. Just misses.
And I'm gonna I'm gonna say over to Adlith, check your pocket. And check your pocket. And I'm just gonna kind of like wave my fingers over toward like your direction off the sword after I miss, sort of kind of like haphazardly. And in one of your pockets, you now feel a warm sensation. And you have been given I am giving you a bardic inspiration. So you now have a D6 to use if you'd like.
All right,
Now,
thank you.
whenever you make that motion with your hand, is there anything physical that happens with your hand? Is there any like visuals that come out with it?
There's no physical visual, but if she checks her pockets, there will be a little food snack there'll be a little food snack that is freshly warmed and prepared. That if she eats, will then be as if she used the inspiration.
Very cool.
Milk cream pie.
Fucking beautiful.
Sure. Well, whichever food snack you'd like.
Is that all, Eggval?
Yes, that is all.
All right, back to the top.
Oh.
Ren,
Okay.
you saw this
see-
imp as it gets shot burst into a blue flame. not too far in the distance.
Yeah, and I saw these little creeps attack my new friends, and I'm like, that's a bad thing. And I'm gonna hop off the table to get a better shot, or to get a better view, and I'm gonna take a shot at this guy. Marginally better. That is a 14.
A 14 will hit.
Ooh, okay, great.
Yeah.
And that is sneak attack, yeah? Because,
Mhm.
yeah, cool.
Sneak attack.
Fuck yeah. So that's a 1 and a 6, balanced as all things must be. So 7 plus 4, so 11 points of damage.
Right.
Very nice.
Yeah.
You hit this thing
Uh,
just as it's about to go after Egg, and you kind of knock it out of the way with an arrow.
And then I just kind of like shrink back into the shadows, like, please don't notice me. And that is my turn.
It seems to be struggling at this point to keep itself upright. Ah!
That's it for
Okay.
me.
Calder.
All right. I'm gonna acknowledge the one that was murdered before me, give him a quick nod, and just shout, "These things should be dying faster." I'm gonna run over to help the others over here, seeing them harried by more than one. And we're using flanking rules, right?
Yep.
Lovely. So I'm gonna attack that guy with advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I hate to be this person. Would it be a regular roll because of your poison condition?
True.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
I'm
Thank
sorry.
you.
I'm sorry.
No, that's
Oh,
fine.
that's
All
all right.
Good.
Flanking, it works.
That's all right. Keeping me honest. Thank you for reminding me. I forgot. So if it's a straight roll, then that would be an 18 to hit.
That is going to hit.
For 9 points of damage.
As you
he's
strike at
busy
this
with-
imp. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, as he's busy with her, I'll come in and kind of level my great sword and just give him a nice jab.
And as you do, it goes straight through the imp, and on the end of your sword, before your very eyes, Adlith, Egg, Calder, this thing turns into a blue flame and turns to ash.
You hear a squeaked thank you from behind the stand, and you see these two like little like or these two brown eyes like pop out from over like the edge of it kind of thing.
Yeah, she just gets kind of like an eyebrow raise, like little nod.
Very cool. Anything else?
That's me.
All
No, sir.
right. Isaiah. Actually, sorry. Adlith. Sorry.
Yeah.
I have it written down wrong.
Okay, she's going to reach in her yeah, she'll do you have to do you have to declare bardic inspiration before your roll?
No, you don't. It could be you
no.
can use it either before or after the roll, but before the DM declares whether if it was a success or a
Yeah, that's
failure.
what I thought. Yeah.
Okay, she's going to you'd see her, she kind of like rises up to one knee and she'll pull the shot back. She's gonna aim at the one in front of Redrick, one that's over there. Roll. I'm gonna use my bardic inspiration because I rolled a 6 plus 5, so I'm gonna add it. So she'll reach in her pocket and she'll eat the thing. It's like it looks like a little like kind of like a trail mix kind of snack kind of thing. I rolled a 6 on my bardic inspiration, so that would make it a 17.
That'll definitely hit.
Hell yeah.
That dice is gone. There we go.
The first
Other
drop
one.
die of the campaign.
All right. So 5 plus 3 for 8. 8 damage. The one in
Okay.
front of Redrick. So you just see an arrow just kind of like whiz by, like she notches it, and it's like rather close to Calder's head, and he hears like the whoosh go past his head, and so does Redrick as it like hits like the imp like in the shoulder.
Very cool. Sending it kind of into a spin, not knowing where it just got hit from. Anything else?
Nope, that's my turn.
Okay, now it is the imp's turn. We'll start with Redrick. As this thing has just now got shot by the arrow, it's going to attack the closest thing to it. It's going to be a 7 to hit.
I'll miss.
Struggling to keep up, strikes you with its scorpion-like tail, and just kind of easily dodge out of the way. This thing is obviously hurt. Next, we'll go to Castus. That is going to be a 10 to hit.
Not hit.
You were just too quick, outthinking your little impish opponent. This thing cannot hit you. We will go to Isaiah next. It strikes out with its stinger. That is going to be a 13 to hit.
Just misses.
Ooh. As this thing goes to stab at your chest, you kind of put up a gilded, kind of a leather pauldron and just block its stinger. Next, we'll go to Egg. The imps are not having a good round. That is a natural 1.
No,
That's
So
sir.
easily. As you were just easily keeping this little bee at bay, swatting your big Goliath hand at it.
Away! Go!
All right, that is it for the imps. It is now going to be Isaiah.
All right. He just put up one arm to block the imp, and he's going to come around and try and hit it from the bottom with the other hand, and set it up to spike. Oh, that's only a 10. Then.
10 does not hit.
Thankfully,
This thing
that's why I've got 2. And he keeps spinning and comes around with the backhand. That's better. That's a 17.
That'll hit. Go to roll
But-
damage.
Only the offhand. Total of 4 damage, though. That's
4 damage. This thing is beginning to look pretty rough. As you,
Nice.
as it kind of gets its stinger stuck in your arm, you swing at it and miss the first time, but as you kind of hit it with the backhand, you knock it off your arm, and it's kind of flying in front of you, kind of wiggly.
It just takes a second to look around and see, but like, what? And that's it.
All right, Redrick. What's your passive perception, Redrick?
That would be a 13.
Even though this little imp is in front of you, causing you some trouble, around you, you kind of take in your surroundings. The town is just getting destroyed by these things. Not only the ones that are attacking your group here, the town is surrounded by these things. You can see shops are now destroyed. There's glass and rubble all throughout the town. But what you do see far off to your right is the sheriff and his goons fighting off their own little pack of imps, not too far off. But it is your turn.
Kind of like, just like laugh at him, give him a little like smirk, and then I
Yeah, you
will
see Pop.
continue.
Yeah, and as he stabs one, it impales one of the imps, and it turns into fire before him as he turns to strike another.
Damn, just kind of rooting for the imps there. Anyway, I will kind of the same thing as last turn. Just kind of as it tries to float away and jump back, I will try to reach out for it with my claw and grab it. So that will be a 21 to hit.
21 will hit.
I would hope so. And then that is 7 damage.
7 damage. As you reach out and grab this imp in your claws, you just close your hand shut and a flame bursts in your hand. Though, it was not hot. It's just there and gone. And the ash falls to the ground.
I like shake my hand on it, and I'm like, And then I will kind of run over to this one that's been hassling Cassis. Be like, look like you use a hand.
Thanks.
Just hang out there for the end of the turn.
Cool. Calder. No, Cassis.
buddy.
Sorry.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
thinking the wrong thing. Cassis.
C names.
2 C's.
I was ready.
He's gonna look around, see the one down here towards a man he's never seen, may have seen in passing, but he's kind of being assailed by it. So I'm going to fire. Kind of look at Redrick, saying "duck" as I fire. That is a 19 to hit.
That'll hit. As a boosh blast into your ear, Redrick, kind of causing you to, and your ears ringing at this point. as whatever this
And-
man is using caused a loud bang.
It is 10 points of piercing damage.
That'll hit.
Nice.
As you fire at this thing, Isaiah, not expecting a loud bang, but next to you, this imp turns into a blue flame, and ash sprinkles down to the ground.
Thanks.
No
Thanks,
problem.
bud.
I use my offhand to attack the one with my dagger.
Okay.
That's going to be a 17 to hit.
That'll hit.
On more than 1 point. 1 point. 1 point.
How much was it?
1 point of piercing
All
damage.
right.
Every little bit, man. Every little bit.
Every little bit helps.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah. Can I hop up like the not here, down there, but right here? That's kind of
Yeah, It's just
okay.
a small barrel in a crate. You could easily get
I
up
want
on
to kind
there.
of work my way over there. So now, think. And that is the end of my turn.
Okay. It's going to be Egg. Your turn. Eggval.
I'm gonna regrip double-handed with my long sword and go up for kind of an upward swing towards the direction. Hey, that's better. That's 16.
16 hits.
Awesome. Nope, that's a percentile die. That's the other. I need the other 10 doing.
1,000 points.
Oh, that's what I get. Roll the 1, so that's going to be 4 slashing damage.
4 slashing damage. That'll be enough. As you give a big upswing with your sword, you cut this thing in half, and the blue flame it turns.
I guess I'll just look back to check on I'll look back and check on Adleth, make sure she's cool, and then just check to see, and just sort of quickly look around if there's any more. That'll be my turn.
Okay. Ren.
She kind of takes a breath, breathes slightly easier, takes a look around, and is gonna kind of mosey up to Dad over here and get this guy in her sights. And that's just a fountain, right? I can shoot over that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. And she's gonna take aim at the remaining imp. Fuck you, dice jail. That's a 1.
Oh no!
Fuck you.
That's a 1.
Right underneath your feet, Cass, you see an arrow nail. Too
Good
close
luck.
for comfort.
Just gonna kind of like, oh, where'd that come from? Not me.
You
Adleth
might want
is-
to aim at the red ones.
Oh, okay, thanks. Yeah, I'll keep
Hey.
that in mind.
I
Sorry.
I like
didn't say
the
the half red ones. I said the red ones entirely.
Right. Yeah, yeah, the little ones. Got it.
Anything else, Ren?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Calder, you're up.
All right. I'll give Eggfall a little nod. Well done with that. If you'll excuse me for a moment. Then I'm
Nod
going
back.
to move up here real quick. And I'll shout out, Scales, down. And I'm going to chuck a javelin at the guy on the other side of Red there.
you turn around instead of ducking.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Just takes it to the face.
Kills the player first.
I'm sorry, real quick, DM. The poison condition, is that something I'm supposed to save on at the end of my turn, or just it's
Nope.
there for however long?
It is there. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
So this will be disadvantage. Oh, natural 20 that I don't get to keep.
Oh,
Oh, come on, another one.
And a 18.
18 will hit.
I'll take it. 4 plus 4 for 8 points of damage.
How do you want to do this?
Oh, hell yeah.
Hey.
So
Yes.
as Redrick ducks out of the way, I'll just kind of take the javelin up, kind of toss it, catch it in the air, chuck it, try to pin this thing to the ground if I can.
Well, as you go to pin it to the ground, your javelin hits it, sticks it to the ground. You see it like wiggle a little bit and then burn into blue flame.
I said no.
Okay. Good job, guys. Your first little combat. There you go.
Yeah,
Oh.
guys.
Quick question: can we pick up our arrows, or are they gone? Are we doing like one on, one off?
So what I will let you do is roll a d4 for me.
Cool.
I'll also roll this.
Thank you.
2.
Hey, I got 2 too.
So you find both of you find an arrow.
Perfect.
Am I able to reclaim that javelin?
Yeah, that one's easy enough to find.
Okay, I figure.
The bullets are gone.
Does anybody know what the hell just happened here?
I was
got
gonna
an idea.
ask somebody.
That was really disturbing.
We
Does
should
that
probably
happen often?
not as far as I know. I haven't been here that
Good.
long.
Good.
We should probably go help some of these other people.
And as you guys all kind of stop and gather your surroundings, you notice and you see the Sheriff Pav chasing off some imps. Get back here, you menace! As it digs back into the hole and it disappears. Around you, after your battle, you kind of catching your breath, you notice that the imps have all kind of disappeared, leaving chaos in their wake. Shops, homes, the inn itself has taken a lot of destruction. You see people running around, putting out fires. You hear some screams and cries. There's definitely injuries around Elbador right now. The man, Redrick, that you see that was initially pulled down into the hole, you kind of notice that his body is lifeless. He lays there dead as 2 men are kind of pulling him out. But chaos has taken over this place.
Gather up if you would. Listen,
Gather
there's,
up some wood? What do we need
no,
wood
wait.
for?
Why would?
Oh.
Ugh.
Would you kindly gather?
Okay.
Come on, come over here.
Okay.
Okay.
She grabs the egg and kind of clambers over the side of the stall and says looks up to Calder and says thank you, by the way, for helping so that they didn't attack me. Thank you.
My pleasure. Now the rest of you, the way I see it, we're all either freaks here or we're the ones willing to befriend the freaks. Am I right in assuming that?
Who you calling freak?
By their
Means it as a term of
Yeah,
endearment.
what he said.
by their standards, I mean.
That's fair.
Oh.
Fair to say?
Who you calling they? Exactly.
The rest of you are kind. You seem to be a bit different.
We'll see.
I'm
What
gonna venture
the
a wild fucking guess as to what's going on if you want to hear it.
Please.
The way I see it, blue flame goes out. Priests show up, being all creepy like, disturbing folk. Imps show up soon thereafter, which then explode into blue flame.
Be a pretty big coincidence.
I fucking agree.
Um,
They were wearing the symbol of Ilmater. There's a temple or a shrine of some sort in town. Call it a hunch. I think it may be theirs. If you're looking to do something about it, that's where I think we go.
Do we
Hey,
have to-
normal?
So, you want to run off to a church and start some trouble when people are dead and dying in the streets and there's fires and stuff to put out?
We can help on the way, but if we don't take care of the cause, it's just gonna happen again. Ain't it?
Oh, I don't want it to happen again.
Oh
It's
no.
scary.
Mm,
I don't know. Isn't that something that the law should handle?
I mean, sheriff seems to be doing a pretty good job of it. Sadly.
I think the
Well.
sheriff can handle whatever's happening here. I think it's best to figure out why it happened.
Well,
Agreed.
yeah.
And on a personal note, I think that sheriff can get fucked.
Great.
I mean, he probably does. He is, like, big in the town. So,
Well, that's not exactly what I'm. But, you know, you make a point. That's a
Adlith looks clueless. This is all going right over her head. She's just
Ag's
staring
just gonna-
between everybody.
Ag's just gonna look over at Adlith and like, these humans are odd, aren't they?
I'm still trying to figure out if I'm the freak or the one that would befriend the freaks.
Befriend for sure.
Befriend. I don't have many. I don't have
Yep.
many friends, so that's nice.
absolutely befriend.
Mhm.
Wait, you don't got?
I'm worried about, if we they don't seem to want some of us here, and I'm worried that if we get too deep into it, they might blame us.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Especially being red and scaly ain't gonna go over too well when it comes down to it.
Are you a dragon?
Yes and no.
I
Well,
think
that's very clear. Thank you. We should
Egg
do what
gives
I
a
can.
probably be
long,
seen.
hard stare.
Mhm.
Some of us should probably be seen to be helping out the town in
Ah,
this case of damage.
I
Could
know.
build goodwill.
I know some. I mean, I don't know who would want my help, but I'm good with. And you see her like rummage into a satchel, and she pulls out like a little like kit that looks like it would natural medicines kind of a thing. Like probably not medicine that most of you guys are used to, but it looks medical in nature. She just holds up a couple like weeds. So I can help.
Oh,
That's
herbal healer, huh?
Well, a
That's
little
nice.
bit, little bit.
Well, we can certainly walk in this direction if you know one, but let's lend hands where we can. It seems like nobody's dying right now. Well, nobody I can save at least. They do have a doctor, so
As you're all having this
Busy tonight.
discussion, Pav, the sheriff, goes rushing by and points and kind of stops, noticing all of you have kind of gathered here. Says, points to all of you, "Don't you go anywhere!" And he hurriedly rushes off in the opposite direction.
Told you.
should we get going?
Yeah, I
Okay,
didn't like that.
That kind of makes me want to go somewhere. Is
Yeah.
everyone in
Yeah.
agreement? All right.
I know where
I
we
think
can
Maybe he
go.
wants. Maybe he
No.
wants stew.
I don't think he wants stew egg. It was really good stew though. I wish I got to
maybe
finish
he
mine.
does.
Thank
I
you.
don't think he does.
to be fair, usually they are much nicer. Things go much smoothly if you comply with law enforcement. I'm sure he's got a reason for yelling at us for some reason.
Listen,
It's
no
'cause of the
offense.
I'm not sure he does.
No offense, but I
think-
think it might go smoothly when you comply with law enforcement.
I
It
think he
always
yelled.
has in the past.
There you go.
I think he yelled
Huh.
at us because of the tail.
I think we should get
Nah.
going. That's my personal opinion.
I know where we
Yeah.
can go. It's safe.
Where's that?
Well, it's not safe, but it's safe. And she points towards the Chondlewood.
Oh,
All
the
right.
dangerous woods.
Home. That's my home.
Oh, okay. Well, if it's your
That's good.
home,
Well, we either
Interesting.
sit here and wait to be blamed for it. We go beat up clergymen at the church, or we go into the woods. I think I'm with the woods.
Or
We don't
we
have to
could
start
just
with the
go
beating
help
up.
people.
Or okay, option 4.
I'm not really sure how much there is that I could do to help, and I don't particularly want the sheriff looking at me. That just seems uncomfortable.
Redrick,
Yes.
at this point, you pick up loud voices coming from the way of the inn, a little bit off to your left. And when you look, you can see a large crowd has gathered outside the inn. The large foreman gentleman that was introduced as the new manager of the logging operation has gathered a large group. You can see him speaking in loud tones. You can't really hear what he's saying, anything, but he kind of waves everybody on, and the crowd begins to follow you, and they're passing your group as you kind of watch, all in excited voices. They all seem revved up in one way, led by this man, heading in the same direction that Pav was headed. Mac, Calder, you would know that was the same direction that the temple was located.
Seems they had the same idea.
Kate, we lost you.
Sorry, my dog came in.
You're good.
I'm back. Sorry.
Well, no. I'm not one to rain on anybody's parade, but usually seems to me if that many people are going to do something stupid, it's probably the wrong call. Maybe we should avoid whatever that is.
What direction were they heading? Sorry.
They were heading in the eastward direction, to the eastern part of town.
And you said that's where the church is, right?
Yep.
I mean, unless you want to watch people. Do they do like mobs around here?
I didn't see any pitchforks, but I don't know.
If we want to go to the church, I might be able to get around them, get there faster than them. When I first got here, I spent the day kind of looking around at places, trying to find paths. I think I might be able to get us there first before they get there, but it'd be close.
That's something I'm pretty good at too. I kind of know how to get there quicker.
Good ideas. Good spitballing. If we show up first and then they all show up really angry and see us there.
Well, I don't want to go inside or anything. Like, just kind of
I do.
take a post and see.
I think we at least see what they're up to from a distance, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe follow, enter after.
Term, while this is happening, this is a stupid thing, but can Adlith be putting the egg in the baby Bjorn that she has for it and having it on her back? Okay, she's just getting it strapped up to wear it. So wherever we go, she has her egg.
And you all see, do you want to describe the egg, what it looks like?
Yeah, so it is this it is a big egg. Like she's tall, and when she holds it, she uses she can hold it under one arm, but usually holds it in front of her. Hi, Leo. And it's got it gets cream, but it has a bit of a pinkish tint to it. And it's a weird looking bird egg or a dog egg, if whatever one she remembers at first. But yeah, and it's got some kind of triangular ridges along it. So if you look close enough or you drag your hand along it, you can feel it. Kind of scaly texture. So
cool. So what are you guys doing?
Yes, then we follow the group.
All right.
So you're following the crowd.
Keep an eye on them at least.
I can, like I said, I can probably get us there faster and around them without them noticing.
Oh, do you know the shortcut behind the inn? That little alley I found the other day.
The alley that you can then cut that through the other alleys. We can get there twice as fast.
Yeah, that's completely right. Do you guys want to get there first, or do you guys want to follow?
I think first.
Yeah, let's get there first.
Okay. After you.
I'm gonna take off my I'm gonna just take off my what the fuck is it called?
Apron.
Apron. Yeah, thank you. I'm gonna take off my leather apron, and I'm gonna wrap it around the hand on either handle of my hot pot, and just sort of pick it up, and just bring it with me in case anyone's hungry. You never know.
Just all on wheels. You just come to the side and start pushing it along.
Yeah, you got one of those carts.
Just looking around at all these people.
The guy that had the cart.
Yeah.
So you guys decide to follow the crowd, and they are indeed following up, or your guys are trying to go before them, right?
Yeah, we're kind of cutting through.
But I don't think we want to be at the church. We just want to get there and then watch what happens.
Okay. So you want to get there before everyone else, but watch what happens whenever they get there.
Scope it out a little
Try to get there soon enough to get the good seats, the really good seats for the show.
Splash zone.
So you do take the shortcut that Ren and Cassis had both just discovered to quickly get to the outskirts of town, sort of an escape, if you would, a quick way out. Eventually, it leads you out the eastern part of town. not too far of a distance, probably about 300 to 400 feet outside of town, you see this large cobblestone path that leads up winding to this massive. And when I say massive, it is probably like 200 feet in the air, the tip of this steeple. The largest building in Elbador, for sure. You see the crowd kind of leading itself up this winding path. But what's most interesting is that there's two large, lanterns that light up the front door. But above it are these carved, massive two hands that are held together like this, with large, thick red rope that kind of hangs down, just encapsulating the large round door of this church. But the hands themselves are just as big as the width of the church. Whoever has sculpted these and crafted these hands was an expert at their craft as well. They're very detailed. The hands themselves covered in scars and blood, and like I said before, hands wrapped in a large, thick red rope. The crowd, you can tell, is worked up and angry. And before they even get there, you see Pav and his two cronies preparing themselves to either join the crowd or stop them. But whenever the crowd eventually does reach them, Pav, all right, everyone take a moment. Catch your breath. We're all going through a lot. No one really understands what's going on. And you hear screams, you know exactly what was going on, Pav. It was those damn priests. Sorcery, I say. Aye, magic, sorcery, you hear from another voice from the back of the crowd. We want them hung. Justice. You hear all of these screams coming from the crowd, and Pav trying his best to calm them down. Justice will be had when there is proof. You all know that the clergy is protected by the Order of the Blue Flame. It comes from their orders directly that they will never be harmed. Everyone kind of looks at themselves. The Order doesn't have reach out here. You know that as well as we do, Pav. That might be true, Hestus, but nonetheless, if you were the one to strike any of those men down in there, you know the Order would have your head. Kind of steps back for a moment. What about those who've died? They should pay for it. And if they were the cause, they will. Everyone return home, take care of your loved ones, and help each other. Elbador is supposed to rise tomorrow morn. They all kind of back down. Very well. This won't be the last you hear of us. And they all kind of murmur and turn around and kind of all shuffle past you, giving you looks of distrust as well, as some of them notice you standing off in the distance. Filthy forest creatures, as one notices you, Adlith. Probably spawned them themselves. Newcomers. Ha! Shouldn't even be allowed in the first place. Hear another say.
As they do that, Calder, not drawing his weapon, he just very quickly places his hand on the hilt and takes one quick step towards them, just to kind of.
The majority of the crowd, they kind of
And then settles his stance.
continue past you.
Hey, do they know you can bathe in rivers?
I
Hope
think they
so.
just like being mean.
Probably.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah,
You shouldn't listen to them. You're wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
See, like the ears kind of do a little excited little flop.
She's so fucking cute.
I love her. She's precious.
Yay! Thank you.
My big 6 foot tall teddy bear.
Yep. Honestly. She kind of looks to the others and says, she adjusts like the little backpack of the egg she has on now and says, what do we do now? I mean, clearly they don't want us here.
Well, I would say certainly at least one of them wanted talk to us. Or we could just. This isn't home for any of us, is it?
No.
No.
I haven't found what I'm looking for here, so eventually I'm going to have to move as it is.
I've got a little
Redrick
bit
and
of-
Ren, can you please both give me a perception check?
$19.
Big old 7.
Okay, so Ren, you notice that the monastery itself, some might even consider a cathedral just in size, but it has not gone unscathed as well. You see that massive damage has impacted the door, the main door in some way. You can see it splintered and scarred. Windows have been smashed out on both sides of this place. You can see grass strewn across the ground in all sorts of different colors. But it itself has taken damage, so it was not outside of elbow door not taking any damage. Also, you notice when they're having this conversation, Pav's two henchmen open up the door and you see him whisper something to them, and they open up the door and they go inside and close the door behind.
Huh. That's
They're in
odd.
on it.
Yeah, did you guys notice? Look, the temple looks like it took some damage too. They wouldn't have summoned imps to attack their own temple, would they?
Unless they
Unless
want
they
you
wanted to make
think
it look good.
I'm kind of curious.
that. I think it's definitely
Should
worth
we-
talking to him.
Well, we could, well, it's, I can be a little, quiet. I'm pretty small. I wouldn't mind just, taking a peek at a window or something. Just to see. I don't want to go in or anything, but,
Be a good start.
Certainly sounds like something you don't want people seeing.
oh no, I definitely don't want to be seen. But
Maybe we should do both. If somebody talks to Pav, there's a lot less chance he'll be looking anywhere else.
Term,
We
I've
kind of had a experience with Pav, so I think the three of us will back from that. I'll be more than happy to take a look around.
I'll talk to him.
I'm always down for peeking in windows.
yeah.
Term. While they're having this discussion on who's gonna go in, can Adlith turn around? Is there a? It's gonna sound like such a stupid question. Is there a tree that is like if it had eyes would have vision of the monastery, or not the monastery, the church?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. She's gonna walk up to it. She's
Okay.
gonna
It
place
is
her
a
hand
large
on-
oak tree that stands probably 20 or 30 feet away from the monastery, kind of down the path.
She's just gonna put her hand on like the trunk, and she's gonna say,
Excuse me. Did the clergyman do this?
You hear the
And-
tree. Good.
it's her. So it's very limited. That's why she's asking for a yes and no question. But it's her speech of beast and leaf.
Mm-hmm. So the tree kind of gives a low groan. You kind of feel that the wind kind of picks up the trees. Sort of, you kind of get the sense of it like doesn't really know.
Thank you. You tried.
And she gives it a little pat on the trunk and kind of wanders back to the others and is like looking around to see what group she should join.
So
Oh,
who's
she
doing
does
what?
say the trees don't
Oh.
know anything.
Okay.
Good to know.
That's
Yeah.
more
That's a
information than we
normal
had.
thing to say.
I mean,
Yes.
I thought I would ask. They're right here.
yeah. No, of course. Yes. Witnesses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, who wants to come with me? Go peek in some windows.
I do. I'm good at that.
I'll tag
Can I
along.
come?
There's got to
Are
be a
you-
better way you could say that.
So who's doing
I-
what?
I would like to stealth up the
Stealth
hill
away.
to make it to a window.
Okay.
Me too.
I will be with that group.
Okay.
Adluth is trailing behind because she didn't know where to go.
I'll
What are the
play
rest of you?
distraction.
You're
We're
going.
gonna go talk to Pav.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'll go with the distraction group.
okay. So Egval, Calder, and Isaiah are gonna go talk to Pav. The rest
Correct.
of you are gonna sneak up to go see windows.
Mhm.
Peeking in windows. Okay. So the ones that are peeking in windows, give me stealth checks, please.
Ooh, not great.
It's a 9, thank God.
Oh,
Okay.
nat 20 for a
7.
24.
There's a 7.
I got a 15.
What is my modifier? I got a 12.
Oh, bad.
12,
Nat
12,
20 for a
15,
24
nat
on
20,
my
and
end.
7.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys stealthily. What side are you going? Left or right?
Left.
Left is best.
Yep.
Left is best.
I
Okay.
agree.
Always go left.
So you guys kind of take a wide loop back down the hill, kind of skirt around some edges of some trees, and head back up the side of the monastery. While the rest of you approach Pav, you can see as you approach him, he is rather flustered. He doesn't know what just happened. You can tell he's rather confused. Is probably and upset just as much as all of you are. God damn it! Kind of kick some dirt.
Can I insight check that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's try and get a feel for how genuine that seems. With my garbage insight. Hold on. 18.
18. So you do
I'm sorry.
notice.
I'm poisoned.
Ooh, you are.
Oh.
Right.
How long does that last?
Actually, at this point, sorry, I didn't mention this. Thank good you brought it up. After the last imp was slain by you, that feeling had washed away.
Oh, thank fuck. Okay.
Sorry,
Because
I
the
forgot
second
to
roll was
mention
real bad.
That's okay. What did you say? 18.
18, yes.
Okay. Yeah. So when the presence of the imps have left Elbaldor, that feeling of poison vanished along with them. Sorry, I didn't mention that before.
Okay.
But 18. He seems rather distracted, nervous, worried, almost like a sense. You kind of get a sense that this man is in over his head. He doesn't know
Mhm.
what just happened. As the newly appointed sheriff of Elbaldor, he seems nervous, shooken up, in over his head.
Okay. So we approach. I'll just kind of hands up in a sign of peace. Now,
You all again. You know, I'm going to give you a warning, and this isn't even me being the sheriff. Take this word of advice and just leave. People are on edge. We usually don't get outsiders here at all. No visitors, and especially kind of looks at you and Radric, and even you, Egval.
I am not there.
Or no, yes, you're not there.
Yeah.
Sorry. You and Egval, types like you.
now listen, I am used to that sort of disdain and fear. That's fine. I'll take it. I'm here to help. What can I do?
Nothing you can do. If you stay, it's just going to cause more problems. These people are on edge. If you stay too long, they're going to end up blaming you and causing more of a ruckus.
They seem pretty set on blaming these people here. Why would they change their minds?
A lot of these people that have lived here for a long time. If you know anything about Elbador, it used to be part of Chondath, not Cespish. We've recently been acquired by the barony. These people do not trust any form of magic, nor do they trust the clergy. That's probably why they don't trust all of you lot. I come from Orpentar. I've seen magic in my own eyes. I know the good that it has done. But these people, they know nothing but fear. The plague still sets in their mind.
How long has this clergy been here?
5 or so years now. The city of Orpentar, they sent masons, craftsmen, even a few wizards or two. They constructed this place.
And how long have things been falling to shit?
You mean with those things? The creatures?
That and whatever that lady on the stage was talking about? Issues in the woods or some such?
Well, the Chonderwood has been growing more and more dangerous for the past 10 or 20 years. Creatures and unexplainable stories coming out of it. Logging operations had stopped for 2 or 3 years now, and the mayor's father, who used to run the place, lost all his money. Some say he died of the heartbreak of losing it all. But it's been rough for the people here.
This is the
We're here
first
to turn
time
it around.
This is the first attack of this nature?
I've never seen a thing like that before in my life. I don't even know what those things were.
Do I know what they are?
You would.
Yeah? Okay. Fiends. Devils.
Devils. Here.
Kind of shit that rarely finds its own way here. It's usually brought. You ask me, I'd say the people's suspicions are justified.
Well, in my opinion, they'd be justified to blame you. Brought here, you all are new. We don't get visitors, like I said. Not many people travel out this far.
We weren't exactly the ones doing some ritual like beating each other and chanting stuff through the street. But I do see your point. Isn't it typically odd to have fiends associated with a church?
I don't know anything about it. What I can tell you is that the clergy does not like, how do I say this, the use of the blue flame at all. They see it as an omen. They like to make that ideal known when they come into town and see such things happening. They did not approve of the festival today. But I don't see any reason why they would attack. Especially being brought here by the Order of the Blue Flame themselves. Doesn't make any sense.
If they did not approve of the festival, maybe this is making them, or them rather, making their disapproval known.
Prove a point.
You may not understand their methods, but their thinking seems pretty fucking strange to me, walking through the streets beating each other. So it doesn't seem all that wild.
They've done weirder things, trust me. It's all ritualistic.
Couldn't
So
this
to
be
say.
too?
Well, they've been here for years.
Things change. People change. Believe me.
Well, it's not up to me to decide. It would have to go through the mayor first before I'm even allowed to talk to them.
Now, that brings up an interesting point, though. Who exactly is it who handles all your blue flame sort of accoutrement?
It was a gift from the Wizards of Ompatar. All it is a little bit of dust. You light it with a regular flame and it emits a blue light.
Dust.
Interesting. Why a festival for a little bit of dust in a place that wants nothing to do with it?
That's a question I cannot answer. It was the mayor's idea. She comes from Obatar herself. Well, her family originated from there.
You say the clergy didn't approve of the festival. They don't approve of the blue flame in general, correct?
As far as I know.
But they come as part of the Order of the Blue Flame? Does that whole order have the same disapproval?
Well, on the contrary, they almost praise it.
That doesn't sit right, does it?
I'm not here to ask questions, friend.
Shouldn't you be, Sheriff?
I'm here to protect the people, not investigate a clergy or what their relationship is to a blue flame.
Part of protecting the people is understanding what's happening to them.
Well,
Wouldn't you
nothing was
agree?
happening before tonight.
Time to start asking questions, bud.
Right.
I tell you what. You don't like asking questions, right? Let us. People are going to want to blame us for something anyway. I'll take it.
Give me a persuasion check.
Okay.
With disadvantage.
Disadvantage?
Yes, sir.
Oh boy. Okay. 20. Dirty 20.
We'll have to run it by the mayor.
All right. That's all I ask.
All right, follow me. And as he kind of like pushes past you and Egg, he grabs a steaming pile of stew right off the tray. God damn it, I didn't think this is how my night was going to go. He kind of starts drinking out of the cup.
Calder
stew.
claps Egg on the shoulder. Things really do go better with stew.
Good stew.
The rest of you, as this is happening, are silently creeping up to the side of the monster. The windows are rather tall, but luckily, one of you is tall enough just to be able to get on their tippy toes and peek through. The rest of you might have to get on one another, you know, be hoisted up in some sort of way to be able to see in himself.
I was gonna say, Adlith would turn to Ren because she's the shortest and say,
Do you want a boost? I can lift you.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. You don't have to lift me. I can just kind of scurry up your. Oh, okay.
She just like grabs her waist and lifts her up. She's got the powerful build feature. You're nothing.
Tall and strong. Okay.
Easy
Oh,
enough.
got a hood. I'll pull it up to kind of.
Rick, paper, scissors.
All right, do it. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Scissors, shoot.
Oh,
Ooh.
man, both try to see. All right, ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Scissors,
Yeah,
shoot.
this is virtual.
Oh my god! All right, you
guys
go.
roll a
Get out of
d6.
here. I'll take the
Roll
ball.
a d6.
Here, come on,
D6.
come on,
All right.
come on.
Six.
Roll
Six.
d6. All right, roll
Yep.
these. Oh, it's on the
Roll
ground.
these.
5.
3.
Oh,
Ooh.
looks like
All
you're
right.
getting on some shoulders.
1. Oh God. Okay.
So as you peek into the windows, you see, two of the two henchmen that you saw enter. One of them rushes up to a gentleman who now has his hood pulled back. He has short cropped brown hair, a thin little mustache, and a kind of a beard that a thin beard strap that goes to his face. They go in for a hug and Hestel, I'm glad you're all right. And he kind of pulls him back and shakes him. No one was injured, you hear the henchman say. No, Podrick, no one was injured. Do you know what happened? Are the people all right? Yes, of course. I have no idea. And you hear, you see Hestel kind of lean in and say something to his brother. Are you sure? He's taking care of it as we speak. God damn it. The mayor's gonna have to be told. We understand. Well, I'm glad you're all right. Well, better get to it. And the two henchmen kind of turn around and walk back towards the door. And close it. Those that are walking away hear this, and you turn, you see them both come out. Pav turns to all of you that are walking with him. Podrick, his brother, is part of the clergy. Wanted to make sure he was all right and not injured in the attack. They catch up with you. As Podrick and the other one leaves, Hestel turns to another gentleman whose still hood is up, and they whisper something. Go ahead and give me a perception check, Redrick and Ren.
Can I be listening to?
You can try. Yeah, go ahead. Yours would be a disadvantage.
Okay, that's okay.
I got
And
10.
8, 10,
8 plus 9.
Ooh.
17. So you can hear this.
Big ears.
Barely behind the whisper. As he says, "Are we sure it's missing?" Yes. What are we going to do? My Stell is still deciding. This could be very bad. We'll go help him clean up the mess. We don't want anybody else knowing. Very well. And he kind of rushes off, and you see him open a door, and he closes it behind him.
They lost something.
Hestel begins to start tidying it up. And inside the church itself, you can see this place was destroyed inside. You see pews turned over and smashed and ripped. The stone floor actually like crumbling and destruction everywhere. All of the windows kind of busted out. The pupil itself, where you can see a large shrine to Omater had been made, is cast aside. Everything all over the floor. This place seems completely destroyed inside as well as outside.
Perhaps like it was tossed.
You want to catch that last bit?
Oh, she said that they lost something. It
Mhm.
kind of looks like something was searching for something in there. If you look, it kind of like tossed everything and looked under all the pews. Huh.
What would be looking for what, though? I don't even know.
I don't know either. But Adlith, you said that they were concerned about it, right?
Yes, and something about Miss Stell was deciding on what was going to happen.
Okay.
Oh, that's gonna be a whole thing, isn't it?
I can
It's
go
kinda-
ask. Want me to go ask what they lost?
No,
No.
no,
No,
no, that's probably not a good idea. You're very sweet, though.
Okay.
Oh wow, that's kind of exciting, guys, right? That's pretty interesting. I
Mhm.
don't really want to go inside though. Should we go back to find the others?
Yeah, I want to find
Yeah.
Egg.
Let's see what they found out
let's
up there,
go back.
too.
Yeah.
Oh. And we start
Set.
shuffling down off of Cass's
Thank you.
shoulders.
Yeah. Adlith puts Ren down gently.
And it squeaks a little bit. It's okay.
Guess we go catch up with the others.
Yeah.
They're not too far down the path. You can see them still walking back to Elvador. As you re-enter the town, you can see the chaos has kind of subsided, and you can see the people here beginning to aid each other and clean up as best as you can. The lady that was telling fortunes using Terra, she's quickly gathering her things and packing things up. An older lady actually approaches all of you. So specifically you, Adlith. My, you are beautiful, aren't you?
Oh, you see the it's hard to see that she's blushing, but you can see the like little pink dusting underneath the fur, and the tail gives like a little happy flick and says,
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Adlith.
and she'll hold out
Oh.
her hand.
Very nice to meet you, Adlith. She shakes your hands. I haven't seen one of your kind in a very long time. I am Castia. I am the herbalist here in town. I just wanted to give my thanks. All of you, I saw what you did in the market. It's been hard for us here recently, and see someone like you put themselves on the line for others, it was touching. Hold on a moment. And she opens up a large satchel that she's carrying on her pack. She pulls out a large brown pot. It is filled with dirt. For you. And she hands that to you, Adlith.
Dirt. Thank you.
It's not just any dirt, my dear. It's
Oh,
really a plant.
it's a plant.
Yes. And
What
if you
kind?
take special care of it, maybe someday it will grow up into something even more.
Adlith kind of like looks between the plant and then like over her shoulder to the egg on her back, and then to the plant and says,
I have 2 things to raise now. Thank
She
you.
is sweet, isn't she?
She's
what
the
kind-
best.
Oh, thank you. And the ears do the little floppies, and she says,
what kind of plant is it?
Well, if you take care of it, maybe you'll just find out. Something special I've made. Been working on it for a long time.
So I know in advance. Is it edible?
Treat it with love, my dear. Do not eat it.
Okay, I can do that.
I do an inside check on this woman.
Sure.
I do not trust this woman.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ooh, that is a 17.
So she seems sweet. She seems genuinely thankful to all of you for helping out. When she talks about the plant, it's odd. She seems like she's not telling you everything about it that there might be to this thing. But nonetheless, it is a brown pot full of dirt.
Can she just try and like open her bag and like set it like wedged in between some of the other junk she has in there to like keep it upright, kind of thing?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I'd wear it on my back, but that's I already got a passenger. I will take good care of it. Thank you. And
You're welcome.
do you need anything?
And she pulls out like the herbalist kit. Like,
Do you need anything?
No, my dear. I have everything here that I need.
Okay.
Like I said, take care of that plant.
I will. Does it have a name?
That's up to you, my dear.
Oh, no, let me ask it. Do you have a name?
she's gonna ask the plant.
uh,
You listen.
Rin
Right.
whispers, waffles. But she tries to do it so that you don't know that it's her.
Now, when I say this is a fairly large pot, it's like a 10-pound pot.
Oh,
It's,
shit.
it's pretty big. Like it's, you know.
Okay,
um,
guys. So we stay in the forest and we wait for this thing to grow for the rest of the campaign.
Yes.
That's the
That's
campaign.
This is the
game
campaign
Sounds
now.
like a plan.
Gosh. Okay.
Fucking
Take care, and you can always come visit me. I have a shop at the other end of town if you need any. Of course.
Oh, what was your name?
Castia is my.
Castia,
name.
that's right. I'm sorry. How should she take care of the plant? You didn't say.
I think she knows how.
Okay.
You get a little nod from Adelaide.
I'll take good care of Waffles.
Very well.
Waffles.
Yes. Yes.
Well, it looks like you're all in some important business. I'll leave you to it.
stew.
No, thank you.
Okay,
I'll actually take some. I didn't finish mine earlier. Thank you.
welcome.
It's oddly still warm.
Oh, it's so good.
Piping
Wow.
Well, if we're
But
done with
anyway.
pleasantries,
Oh yeah, Pav's still here.
Okay.
I mean, I assume there's going to be a bunch of talking before anything gets decided. I think we'll be fine for tonight.
of course. Are we ready then?
Sure. Yeah,
Ready for what?
Anyway,
Yeah.
Outsiders, follow me. And he leads you
Okay.
into this large manor-like building that was set behind the stage earlier. He opens 2 large, very nicely crafted wooden doors that open up into a large thoroughfare, or not thoroughfare, but a large hall that has a big round table, some chairs and benches, a nice huge red rug covered in gold embroidery. And it's very comfortable, warmly lit in here with normal flame, not blue flame. And you see 2 sets of stairs that kind of go up the side and lead up into a larger chamber that has a railing and rooms that kind of run along the side. Pav turns to all of you. Take a seat. Make yourselves comfortable. I'll let the Mary know you're here.
All right.
Are they? So does he leave the room?
Yes, Podrick and the other one, and Pav, all go up, and at the center of the stairs, you see another set of 2 large wooden doors. They open, and he closes them behind them.
Okay. Once they're out of like what Adlith would assume is earshot, she turned to the other 3 that weren't with them when they were like checking out the church and stuff, and she says,
So what we overheard back at the church, they lost something. Something went missing, was stolen, and they seemed pretty panicked about it being gone.
Like someone tore the place up to get to it too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, that puts a kibosh on thinking maybe they called these things.
Yeah, they seemed pretty upset, and the friend guy or whatever he is, that was his brother in there. He seemed pretty concerned. So I don't think they're in on it together.
I think whoever that had the same sort of idea we had, distraction one end, and sneak around the other end.
I think you're right. Intrigue.
Could be they're being friends.
Did it? I don't know if you got close enough. Did it look like the same sort of things were inside as we were dealing with? Or
Well, it was pretty tossed. I don't know. I didn't really look for any claw marks or anything. That was the first time I've seen one of whatever that was.
That's all right. Well done. Found out what you could.
Thanks.
get the little ear perk at the praise.
Either way, though, I think the church definitely knows what's going on, even if they weren't the ones trying to cause it. Seems like someone else came
Yeah.
in and took whatever and made all this shit happen.
Agreed.
If they know
Even
it
if
was
they're not
lost, they probably know who
responsible-
wants it.
Even if they're not responsible, they're keeping it quiet, which is a problem nonetheless.
Do we tell
Yeah.
the mayor or no?
We still
Maybe
don't...
find out what the mayor has to say first.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Plus, it could
I'm
have
not
very
sure
well
he'd
been
believe
the,
us.
could have been the mayor that took it. We don't know that yet.
Also possible.
should maybe see if anybody saw anything else. I mean, those things didn't exactly scream master thieves to me.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, we could
Certainly
always
not
ask some
subtle.
questions.
I think you'd be the best one to ask questions. And she's looking at Isaiah.
They might be willing to talk to you the most, or even
People.
Ren.
Yeah, probably best. Well, I mean, we could stay together as a group. That would at least make sure no funny business with any of y'all while we're not around.
Okay.
Adlith is gonna sit cross-legged on the ground, crisscross applesauce, and wait for the mayor.
I'm just gonna kind of plop down on a chair in this room and pull out this bandage from my pocket and start like wrapping it around the left arm, just to try and like hide it a little bit.
Try your best.
Yeah, it's
Still an
probably
entire
not-
arm
I know.
that is scaled and red.
I mean, as long as we're waiting. Do you got any more bowls?
Yeah, I'll grab some.
I guess I'll place the stew down and reach in my bag for. I actually have 2 bowls left for a couple more bowls, and I'll hand it to you with a couple spoons. And I'm gonna I'm just gonna walk over to Ren. And I'm gonna reach into my pocket, and in my big old mitt is gonna be 2 copper pieces on
Oh.
an egg.
That's
Thank
very
you.
nice of you. Thank you, Egg. It was
Gonna
really,
drop it.
really good food.
Thank you.
Yeah. I know, the cat.
I didn't even notice that. This
this
rarely happens, by the way. Sorry.
At this point, Pav does open the door. She's ready for you.
Okay.
In we go.
You all go up.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
As you enter, you see a large office that has chairs spread out into a finely crafted, large dark oak desk. And behind it, you see Meredith, Maryvale, the mayor, who she introduced herself as earlier, scribbling on a piece of paper, and she's currently rolling it up as a scroll, tying it off and putting a seal on it. She hands it to Pav, and with no secrecy, says to him, "Make sure the Order receives this and is informed what happened here today. Make it quick. Do not lose this." "Very well, ma'am. It will be done. You two, keep him safe." "Aye, ma'am." "All right, man." And Pav looks at all of you. "Good luck."
Bye.
Thank you.
And he exits and closes the door behind him. What a day. She sits down quickly in her chair, kind of puts her head in her hand. "Oh, apologies," and she stands back up. "Maryville Jostings. Mayor."
Adlith. Furbolg.
Shit.
Right.
Egg.
Right. You're an odd bunch. Pov informed me of all you did in town earlier. I wanted to personally give you all my thanks.
Oh,
Welcome.
Yeah,
Well,
good
that's
things
a
to say.
different reception rather than expected. Thank you.
Well, the people here have a different viewpoint than I do. Of outsiders, I'm used to. These people here, they're different. My father, I don't know how to say this without being rude, but he ruled with an iron fist. He was a Chondathian born and bred, and I was sent to Cespish to join the university. We come from a different cloth, but I inherited it. Lovely. Anyway, you don't have any fear from me. I understand that the townspeople might treat you a little bit differently, but Pav thinks it's not very safe for any of you to stay here, because you might get blamed. He also said you might have a request of me. I'm sorry, I'm a little shooken up.
That's quite all right. It's very good to know that we have nothing to fear from you, at least. In terms of our request, if the others are in agreement, we're just trying to help. Now, I won't speak for everyone, but I, at least, am used to an amount of hate and fear, and that's okay. Let us deal with it if we can. Let us ask questions. Maybe get into that temple. Have a little look-see. You need help.
There's no way the temple would be behind me. I will start off by saying that.
Why don't
I
you
trust
think so?
them. I trust them. Their leader is an honorable man.
Insight check.
Go ahead.
Woo! Big natural one.
She seems flustered at this point.
They may not be responsible, but we have a suspicion that maybe they were the target. The temple was the target the entire time. What happened here in town was simply a distraction to pull all the guards.
Not blaming
It's
them.
possible
Just
they-
want to ask some questions.
Indeed. It's possible they were framed.
Forgive me for asking this, but you don't seem like you belong to any order, or law enforcement, or anything like that. Can I ask why you're interested at all?
Curious.
Personally, I know a thing or two about bad things happening to people, and my personal upbringing is not the greatest. But recently, I met an individual who kind of told me that it's good to do good things. So, kind of why I wanted to be a part of this.
I feel I'm supposed to be here.
I'm just in town. These people seem fun.
yeah, that was pretty freaky. I don't want it to happen again.
I do have a question. If that's okay.
Of course.
What do you intend to do with the Chandlewood?
He kind of looks at all of you. Well, my dear, it isn't very important to the people here that it be used for resources.
She kind of blinks the big eyes, really confused.
Like lumber.
You can't cut the trees down. Did
We've
you
been doing
ask
it
them
for years.
first?
Is she serious?
I think so.
I mean, did you? It's a fair question.
No, my dear, we didn't ask the trees. But I can tell you they're vital for the people's survival here. Without
I
them,
understand survival.
right? And
You only take a little bit, right?
of course.
Okay.
Can I insight that?
Go ahead.
You need to.
Okay, I rolled an 11 plus 5 for a 16.
She's kind of hesitant.
Okay.
Probably thinks you're a little odd, even for asking these questions.
Yeah.
In the situation that's been going on.
Okay.
Um,
She just says,
As long as it's not, like, too harmful, you know? Creatures live there. They have homes too.
Of course. Keep those limitations in mind.
Then I'm willing to help.
Right.
If you don't think that the church did it, do you have any idea who did?
Probably Snow had something to do with it.
What's
Cade.
What?
Cade Snow. He's remnants of. This place used to be riddled with crime while my father was in charge. We've recently driven most of them out, but Cade has a strong foothold here still, the other side of town. He runs a club, at least that's what he calls it. It's called the Arrow. He belongs to an organization called the Disciples. Criminal organization, at least that's what he considers it. It's just nothing but a bunch of thugs. But
Would I know anything about that?
I was wondering the same thing.
roll me a history check, both of you.
Ooh, that's pretty good. -1. 18.
18?
Give me a
Could I
sec.
potentially roll for that criminal group as well?
You can too, sorry. Yes,
Okay.
you were definitely involved in
I
that.
have a 12.
Are you saying
you-
Cade?
Oh.
Cade Snow, yes, ma'am.
Cade Snow. Okay.
You
Thank
said that
you.
was a history check?
Yes.
Huh, 8.
8. So, Castus, you would be the only one to know. They are a descendant of, like, a far-off branch, I would say, of... They're associated with the Five Blades, a large criminal organization coming out of Arab. But they're nothing but a bunch of thugs that you... doing minor things like theft and burglary and...
Okay, very
You
loose
know.
association to that group.
Correct. But they have ties back to them. If they were
Why?
to stage an attack on the town and try to swoop power from underneath me, this would be a good way to do it. And Cade is known to try to do things like this. He set fires and causes rabble in the past.
Do you think they have the power or the connections to
Yeah.
summon devils?
I've never seen anything that happened like this before in my life. I don't know.
And if we wanted to get in touch with this Cade, or we could find him?
The Arrow. The club on the other side of town. I'm sure he already knows you're here. He has eyes everywhere.
That's a lot of eyes.
Yeah.
Sounds like we
Little
need
eyes.
Sounds like we need a night out to the club.
I think so. Could you get us into that temple as well, lady?
You have my permission. If you think they're
Much
involved in any
appreciated.
way and we can help Elbador discover what had happened here tonight. And you think they have some involvement? Please go talk to them.
At
They're
the very
rather
least,
welcoming.
we can gather some information. That's better than nothing.
Oh, one
Very
more
well.
thing. An announcement saying that we're not behind it would be nice, so that we don't get the pitchforks and the torches,
That also would be
Yeah.
very much appreciated.
or at least
I
saying
got
that we're
spit at.
trying to help.
Oh,
Really
yes, my
nice.
dear. I will make sure to put out word that you are under my watch and had no involvement, as far as we know.
Thank you.
Appreciated.
Any other questions? Also, I didn't get any of your names.
I said my name.
Right. Can you repeat that for my ledger?
Adlith Furbolg.
Furbo. She writes it down. The rest of you?
Call me
Uh,
Red
cast
Bull.
this-
Oh,
Oh shit!
Well, not all at once.
perfect.
How about you?
Uh.
Yes, sir.
My name is Isaiah Storm.
Did you say your last name was?
Storm.
And you?
Call me
Looking
Redrick.
at you, Redrick. That's it. Redrick.
Just Redrick.
Nasty Scar. She moves on to you, Cassis.
Cassis Delia.
And you, the larger one.
Oh, easy. Egg vol. Egg.
But if it
Egg.
falls, it'll crack.
Egg boy. Right.
Yes.
Never mind. And you,
God damn.
looking at you, Mac.
Name's Calder, man. Calder Vidar.
Calder? Last but not least, you, my dear.
Oh, I'm Ren Tarluck. Nice to meet you.
And she writes these all down and closes her ledger. Any other questions for me? And if you need any help, please come back and find me.
I think we seem to be all right.
Yeah.
We'll get
All
started
right.
right away if that's okay.
I have a lot of explaining to do, a lot of paperwork. Like I said, if you need me. Is that stew? She kind of reaches to the tray.
It's really good.
Chew.
It's actually really
And I'll
good.
bring
Yeah.
it
Iqbal's a great
closer.
cook.
Thank you. I'm gonna need it. You can see she
On
sets it down
egg.
in front of you, pulls out a drawer, pulls out some utensils. Very well.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll leave you to your stew, man. Thank you.
Thank
Cam.
you again. And you all leave?
Bye.
Think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.
As I walk out, I'm just gonna say, need more bowls, because he doesn't. He makes these.
So you all exit the manor here, back into the streets of Eldor, where you see the citizens have now kind of gone their separate ways, cleaned up as best as they could. It seems like the wounded have been taken care of for the most part. The body that was left in the street is no longer there. There is a lot of destruction still, so this place had been ransacked and destroyed pretty heavily in this attack. You all kind of gather, looking around at each other, not really too sure how you all just got involved in such a mess here at this town, where a lot of you were just trying to get away from it all. Some faces kind of new to it all, but we will pick us up next week. We'll see whether you guys go see the Arrow or go to the monastery itself. I'm excited to see where it goes. So,
Session one.
Okay,
Fight
good.
in-
Real quick. Since we can't shout out people while we're playing, because it would interrupt the game, I just want to shout out all the new followers we got during this stream. We
Oh.
had
That was awesome.
Alo Arts Things, Erebor, Saint L Mikey 81, White Rice All Day, Matt Leong, and Subject Epsilon.
All day.
All you
All
guys.
Oh boy.
Thank you
Thanks for
so much for calling,
Nice.
guys.
Thank
Welcome,
you.
welcome. Stew.
Thank you all.
Ooh, we need to come up
So
with a name
just
for our
just kind of
subscribers.
another announcement. I did say this at the beginning of the stream. We are going to be doing a little what we call nights off on Saturday. This Saturday at 8:30. We're going to be live on Twitch, and I'm going to be asking questions or answering questions about just the general region where these guys are starting at. So Gordon might have some questions prepared for me, but really it's going to be for the chat to ask questions about where this exactly is happening, kind of explain why I chose this region in Faerun and the Forgotten Realms, and answer any questions you guys have. So,
Good.
all right. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, everybody. It was fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
watching.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bye.
Evening.
Bye.